Ladies and gentlemen, Boswell Media Sports presents Friday Night Football.
Boswell Media Sports presents Leake Academy Rebel Football. Now, here is the voice of the Rebels,
Philip Palmertree.
It's week 7 of Leake Academy football on Friday, October 10. The Rebels meet up tonight with Oak Hill Academy to put a bow on a fun homecoming week on the 4-8-8. Last week, LA improved to 5-1 after walloping Canton Academy 51-7. Senior QB George Wilcox and the Rebel receiving corps made themselves at home in Madison County with 325 yards and 5 TDs through the air as LA put the matter to rest well before halftime. Tonight, the opponent is Oak Hill, a school that Leake hasn't faced on the gridiron since 2016. The Raiders are the surprise team in 2A District 3, winning 6 of 7 and taking an early lead in the division race with a ground and pound offense that finds the end zone 5 times per game and leaves opponents wondering just what hit them. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Crossgates Jewelers pregame. I'm Philip Palmertree. Billy Steen's our studio producer, and Mason Middleton is behind the camera. You have found us on Cruisin' 98, on the free Cruisin' 98 mobile app, perhaps. There's a live audio stream available at Kicks96news.com. And, of course, you can watch LA football on the Triple M Motors video stream. A link to that is available at Kicks96news.com. Click that link. You go to the Boswell Media Sports YouTube channel. Tonight's broadcast is powered by Central Electric Power Association. Before this game kicks off at the top of the hour, I will give you the Philadelphia Gun and Pawn starters. We'll break down the Rebels-Raiders matchup. But first, I'll talk with the Rebels head coach, Brian Pickens. All that is straight ahead as the Crossgates Jewelers pregame continues from Boswell Media Sports.
For 87 years, we've been your biggest fans. Rest assured, while you are cheering on your favorite team this season, Central Electric's team is working around the clock to provide reliable service year-round. Whether building power lines in extreme weather conditions or restoring power on a stormy night, Central Electric employees take your electric service seriously. We will be there to keep the game on. So enjoy this football season and take comfort in our team's reliable service all year long. It's our commitment to you, serving you since 1937. This institution is an equal opportunity provider and employer.
Baptist League Rural Health Clinics have a variety of healthcare options with primary care, pediatrics, and women's health. Providing care at 3 locations in Carthage, Walnut Grove, and Madden. Call 601-267-1470 today to schedule your appointment. Extended hours and Saturdays are available at our primary care clinic located in Carthage. Baptist League, making your health care our #1 priority.
Walk into the shimmering world of Crossgates Jewelers and Pearl, where every piece of fine jewelry will tell a story and represent the memories of your life. Their GIA graduate gemologist will show you their exquisite collection of engagement rings and bridal sets, answering any questions you may have when choosing the perfect diamond and setting. Their expert in-house repairs ensures your cherished items are in the best hands. Crossgate Jewelers, located at the corner of Cross Park and Highway 80 in Pearl. You are unique, and your jewelry should be too.
Thanks to Rosebud General Store, I can get all I need to work the farm right here at home.
Because they go hand in hand with what you use. Spreaders, hay bale rings, cattle catch pins, head gates, and fencing supplies. And let's not forget a great clothing department with boots and shoes to clothe the whole family.
Plus feed and medicine for all our animals, and even a deli to feed us farmers at lunch. That's my faithful friends at Rosebud General Store, Highway 487 East in Rosebud.
Attention poultry farmers. South Group is proud to offer an exclusive insurance market tailored just for you. Whether you run a brand new operation or manage older breeder, broiler, or pullet houses, we've got you covered with some of the best rates in the industry. Protect your investment the smart way. Call Will Lawson Harkins or Jared Estes at South Group today for your custom quote. Call 601-267-0065. South Group Insurance. Local, experienced, and here for your farm.
Ready for your next ride? Triple M Motors has been serving you for 54 years, offering unbeatable prices and an impressive selection to match every lifestyle. With easy financing options and top-notch service long after you drive away, your car buying experience is hassle-free from start to finish. Trust the name that's been in your corner for over 5 decades. Stop by Triple M Motors today and see why our customers keep coming back, generation after generation. Triple M Motors, Highway 35, Carthage.
Welcome back to the Crossgates Jewelers pregame, and we have Rebels head coach Brian Pickens with us as Leake and Oak Hill get set for a 7 o'clock kickoff at Thagard Field. Coach, thanks for some of your time.
Thank you.
First segment's always a look back, and we've got 51-7 win against Canton in the rearview mirror. Talk a little bit about how all three aspects of football came together: offense, defense, special teams, for us to get a hold of that ball game early.
Well, I thought our kids came out and executed. I thought we had a good week of practice, and I always say that every week. I kind of run that in the ground, but that's how you're going to come out and execute. You have to have a good week of practice. You have to have your mindset there, and that's what they did. And I've been really stressing on that they've got to play their game. They've got to do things the way they do it, and they know how to do it. And I thought defensively we came out and did just that. Had a quick 3 and out, and then I may get some of these messed up here, but, scoring, I want everybody scoring, but I know, we came out, George threw for over 300 yards in one half of football, which is, impressive in itself. What Canton was doing, we just felt like that our receivers were going to be open, and they were, and we just came out. I think early in the game we hit Gage Warren for a touchdown and kicked off to them. I thought our kickoff team, Caden did a great job of pinning them down there. Our kickoff team did a great job of rallying to the football, making plays on the kickoff, and that's always important, and did that all night. I want to say it was on that drive. I think Jack had a big interception, which got us down there in their territory, and Adcock was able to run it in. We felt like we wanted to run it in. There just kind of sounds kind of weird to say we wanted to, but sometimes you get down there, and we felt like we had 4 downs to work with. So I said, I know what they're doing, and they were trying to give us fits inside on a run game, but we were able to score there, and defense came right back, did their job, got us the football back, and I want to say maybe I can't remember, we had a series of penalties that backed us up, and that's one thing. As we talk about the good, the one thing is we've got to clean up some of the penalties that we had. We did have a good many penalties the other night. We've got to clean that kind of clean that stuff up. That can hurt you in a big game. But I think we got backed up. I think one time it was like 2nd down and 25, something like that. We got the ball up to working, manageable down in distance, but wound up in a 4th down, and I thought this was a great time to look at it. So Caden ran out there, kicked the field goal. It was 42-yarder. So, I was really proud of him there. I know that's his career long, and in Leake Academy history, that's probably one of the longer ones. I know 24 years of Leake Academy history, and so those don't just come around just every day, or every year. So anyway, I was proud to see him kick that. That puts up 17, and I think after that, I know Easton had a touchdown catch later on, and Gage had another touchdown reception. And then Wright Palokas, he had a big touchdown catch for us, and he actually caught an out route, made some people miss it, had to run over somebody and scored to it. So he put a little style points on his touchdown there.
Yeah, Wright Palokas piling up what they call the yak yards, right? Yards.
That's right. You got the yak yards.
Receivers put a lot of value on that.
I thought our punt return has some great punt returns when we were able to field them, and actually Gage took one, scored. That was called back, but that was important for the future, because that it shows that we have the ability to do it. We work on it, and so I think that gave him a lot of confidence. You hate he got called back, but it gave him confidence, and it gives the kids a lot of trust in what we're doing on our punt returns and things like that. So you're right. All three areas of the game, I thought we dominated. We had probably honestly we had one bad play, and that's what put them down there in scoring position. But other than that, like I said, just extremely, proud of this group. What they've done, the last 4 weeks. Our starters we've run the clock. Our starters have come out, which is very valuable to your younger guys. Guy like Riles, gets in there. He scored a touchdown there. Well, actually, Riles had 2 touchdowns. I was naming touchdowns. He had one just before the half, a touchdown reception, and then he came in and played quarterback second half and had another long run, off our zone stuff. And so, like I said, he had a huge night. So, and like I said, that's important for the future of your program. A lot of people don't see that. Being able to get your stars out of the game, get your younger guys in is huge for your future. Now all of a sudden, we've got a lot of young guys now who have seen a lot of rep, under the lights, and you cannot duplicate that on a practice field, to get out there by yourself, in those huddles and have play calls and line up against, the high school kids. That's like I said, that's invaluable to you in the future of your program. So like I said, but I'm, proud of the group. And one thing I've really been proud of is their attitude in practice. I probably stress that as I've gotten older, the practice is the biggest thing that I stress. But, I know people see what they see on Friday nights, but that's a lot of work to see what you're seeing there. And it would be easy to come in, get complacent, just kind of sometimes go through the motions with things. But Scoops really practice hard. They're attentive to our game plan, to scout reports, and so like I said, just been really proud of their mental state.
Well, then, you've anticipated the follow-up question I was going to ask before we exit this segment, that you hear coaches say, well, we had a good week in practice, but really what does it come down to with saying maybe 2 or 3 things that determine whether it's a good practice or whether it's a not so good practice?
Number one, attitude. Their attitude when they get out there. A lot of days it's hot, and I've got a joke that I always tell them, every day's hot. It's Mississippi. It's hot, it's muggy, and but some days are extremely hot. And those extremely hot days, sometimes I'll come out there and I'll tell them, all right, you can officially feel sorry for yourself because it's hot enough for me to feel sorry for myself being out here. And it's kind of a joke we say because you're hot out there. You can think, there's a lot of things I could be doing other than standing here in this heat, but they go through it. But like I said, this group for the past, I'll say 24 years. We've had great groups for 24 years, but this group that's been with us now, they've had some of the best attitudes in practice. So number one is their attitude, and number 2 is their attention. Are they giving attention to every detail? Are they lining up right? Are they getting to their spot? Are they running the routes? Are they hitting the aiming point of the hole? What are they doing? And so like I said, number one starts that good attitude, the smiles, the excitement being out there, and then your attention. Are you doing the little things right? And the next thing is basically just the speed. Are they running to the football? Like I said, you can have a good attitude and you can do the things right, but are you doing it to the best of your ability? Are you trying to simulate game speed? And so that's what really means a good practice. Other coaches probably have different things they look at, but those are the things, because you're going to make mistakes. That's why you're practicing. You're going to drop a football. You're going to fumble the football. And I'll say all the time, do it on Tuesday. Don't do it on Friday. Plays are going to look bad on Tuesday a lot of times. People running into each other, because the timing's not there, and that's where the speed comes. Are you getting that time and that game-like speed so that the timing all matches? Are you eager to do new things? And so, like I said, you could have some of those, but if you're not doing a game like speed, you're not getting yourself prepared. If you have game speed, but you're not paying attention to what you're doing, and you're running the wrong route. Now you'd run 100 miles an hour down and run a post when you should have run a corner, whatever it is. So it's those small things that I look at, because like I said, it's hot, it's monotonous. Practice is something that I always say, I want you a little bored because it's habitual. It's the habit. It's just training your body to do this no matter what the external situation is. You could be down. You could be in a loud stadium. You could be in a very quiet stadium where it's just kind of dead. You could be in a rainstorm, whatever it is. Are you just going, we want to just train them them to do what they do. Like those linemen have to come off every time. And a great example of that is don't ever, unless you're ready, go stand in front of an offensive lineman, especially in pregame when they're on air. You're going to get knocked down because their body is coming off as hard as it can, and that's just what it knows to do, And so that's just that habit forming, that's a result of a lot of reps in practice, and that's what we're trying to do. We get a lot of reps. So, sometimes, I hate to use the word bored, but sometimes it can be monotonous. It can be boring, but we want it. But if you've got the good attitude, if you've got the attention, and you got the game-like speed, even though it's monotonous, you're still looking good doing it. And that, to me, is what makes a practice so great. And then some weeks it's just, like I said, it's just the overall execution of everything. This week we've had an extremely good day. One of our days was extremely good, and it's just like you felt like that day you got better. And so I know I've given you more than just a few points, but when I walk off the field, and all those have been going on during the day, I feel good. But when you walk off that field, you feel like, hey, we just got better today. And that's, to me, that's what makes a great practice week. Unfortunately, sometimes you don't have those weeks. And sometimes you see it on Friday night, and you got to battle through it as a coach. You got to understand, hey, something happened. We just didn't have a good practice week. Maybe we weren't, maybe we're looking down the road, and that's something as a coach you got to watch out for. Maybe we were looking behind at something that happened. And so, as a coach, Friday night, you better bring your best, because you're going to have to help them through some of this stuff. So
when we come back from the break, Coach Pickens will talk about the Rebel defensive line as the Crossgates Jewelers pregame continues.
Roll into Junction Deli, where nourishment meets journey. On the menu, delectable breakfast, lunch, and supper. Whether you're in Philadelphia, Newton, Union, Carthage, Louisville, Oxford, or Scuba, we're the local pit stop that blends the allure of delicious food with the convenience of a fuel station. Remember, when your stomach grumbles or your tank covers on empty, we're just around the corner. Download the Junction app for ordering convenience and look for the new car wash in Louisville next to Walmart.
Did you know most people overpay by up to 50% for individual health insurance? David Barham Insurance will save you that. Plus, David has the best rates on the market for Medicare Supplement. The solution is not on the internet or far away. It's right here in Carthage. David Barham, a local insurance agent you can trust. Make sure you have the best coverage and price. Call David Barham, 601-941-1280 on the north side of the square in Carthage.
Sunrise over Neshoba County signals another hard-working day, and locals know just where to get the job done right. Neshoba County Co-op serves our community, supporting farmers, gardeners, and home growers with trusted supplies and friendly advice. From feed and seed to hardware and clothing, every aisle is filled with the essentials you use to make your living. Rooted in Mississippi traditions, the Neshoba County Co-op is proud to help your work flourish every season, every reason. Neshoba County Co-op, Philadelphia.
My knee rehab was 100% successful thanks to Performance Therapy. They sat down with me and created a plan to ensure I would achieve my personal rehabilitation goals, and they encouraged me to get the most out of every session. Performance Therapy provided plenty of material for me to continue my rehab in between sessions too. Hopefully I don't have to see them in the future, but if I did, I would definitely choose Performance Therapy again.
For more information, go to performancetherapyms.com. Performance Therapy, Carthage, Philadelphia, and Forest.
When dealing with something as complex as taxes and payroll can be, you can turn to Weaver Tax and Accounting to make things easier. Their professional staff works diligently to make sure your business and personal returns are complete and finished in a timely manner. Weaver Tax and Accounting will also execute your bookkeeping and payroll, bringing you the best in tax services since 1979. Weaver Tax and Accounting, 20 South Street, Sebastopol, and 109 Chadwick Avenue in Walnut Grove.
When it comes to finding the perfect home, experience matters. Lee Realty is connecting buyers with quality new construction homes tailored to their needs. Hey, it's Stacey O'Neill with Lee Realty. Whether you're starting fresh or upgrading, our team will guide you every step of the way, making the process simple, smooth, and stress-free. Ready to get started? Give us a call today.
We don't want everyone's business, just yours. Lee Realty, 206 West Beacon Street, Philadelphia, 601-562-7123.
Welcome back to the Crossgates Jewelers pregame. We're talking Leake Academy football, getting ready for a 7 o'clock kickoff with Oak Hill at Thagard Field. And we've got Coach Brian Pickens with us, and we take a look at some of the position groups week to week, and we're going to talk today about the Rebels' defensive line. So, Coach, talk about that group. A lot of young men who haven't had a lot of starts behind them coming into this year have certainly stepped up and performed very well during these first 6 ball games.
Oh, they've done an exceptional job this year. We are really proud of our of our defensive line this year. They were a group, you're exactly right. Had a lot of guys graduate, and a lot of these guys, moved in there. So we had to kind of see what they were going to do. I mean, some of them had gotten some reps during the season last year, but for the most part, they were all new, or maybe we moved their position that they were in. And like I said, these guys have really come on, and they've had to defend a lot. But I was kind of talking about our guys that are up there right now. We got Joey Saki. He plays our defensive end. Cade Monk plays the defensive end. We've worked Tanner Walsworth, which you hadn't seen Tanner, but Tanner works over. Tanner's our starting guard, and early in the season we try to keep everybody platoon, but Tanner's worked some over there at some ends and moving people around. Joey Saki's actually, if you remember against Joey Saki actually played an interior line. He's very versatile. Joey does a great job. Like I said, he had moving player 3 technique during the JA game. We've got Talon Dillard. He plays our 3 technique most of the time, and Alan Levo, he plays our 1 tech, which are just our 2 inside guys, and we bring in Sweeney comes in and he plays one of our 1 techs, and then Riker Wells was actually rotating in at some defensive end. Unfortunately, Riker had an injury. We're hoping to get him back later on the season, but he's been out. But like I said, those guys have done a great job, and what's so great about it is like when you're able to get some subs out there for that's always been our deal, and that's something I didn't name a lot of guys on that defensive line, but we didn't name a lot of guys, but we try to get these guys as much rest as they can, because when you take Talon Dillard, Alan Levo, 2 guys that got size, okay, great against runs late like that, and they do a great job against rushing a passer, but then you bring in a guy like Austin Sweeney, who's a quicker guy, gets through the gaps. Now these linemen have a harder time, with timing, trying to block them. If we bring in somebody for Joey Saki, and Joey Saki goes to the 3 tech, now that's just a different style of player. It's a faster player. It's strong but faster. Some kids are just harder to move out of the gaps. So we like getting that change up there. But interior wise, you want, I was always say, you want that beef up in there to stop the run and keep it jammed up. But sometimes on pass situations, we like to add a little speed in there and get some guys who can who can sometimes shoot a gap and be in your backfield before you know what happened. Our 2 ends have done an extremely good job. Joey and Monk are very athletic. 2 athletic ends, and they can honestly and truly just about run with anybody on our football team, and that's what you want, because a lot of times you'll take a stretch play and they've got to run down a receiver, or a running back, or they throw a screen and they got to run down a receiver out there getting a screen. So like I said, we've been happy with their athleticism at the defensive end, but like I said, overall this group has allowed us to do some things. We'll do some movements with them. It's kind of hard to see. You look up at in that line of scrimmage, and it's hard to see what we're doing. We know what we're doing, but it's hard to see it. But like I said, we've actually added in some movements, kind of stunts with them, and they thrive at that. That's really when you've seen a lot of big plays out of some of our defensive linemen. A lot of times that's what's happening, and like I said, they do a super job of that. But defensive line, when you talk about what these guys do, I want to mention them individually, but when you talk about what these guys have to do, today's football is just they've got a lot on their plate, and you just back when I started coaching, you would take an old boy, put him on the defensive line, and he was going to stop the run for you 98% of the time. But now these guys have to have the ability to rush a passer, and that means coming off the edge, bull rush. They have to maintain pass rush lanes, because these quarterbacks will take off running on you. So it's not just, you can't just throw caution to the wind and come after the quarterback. You have to maintain the lanes that you start out in, or the lanes that you've moved to make sure the quarterback is contained. And then when you talk about the run scheme, we've kind of said it some in some of these shows, but for years, our the last few years, our mentality was, we played so much zone, it was to get that penetration. Basically you get the penetration, get yourself upfield. Now we're seeing it, as we've talked, and I'll talk about sometimes running an 80s, 90s offense, the offenses that I came in and were coaching, early in my career and even coached at Leake when I first got to Leake. These offenses made you be so disciplined, where the offenses of today are so much about your speed and your athleticism. These offenses take you back to being disciplined. They'll trap you, and you'll see an inside fullback trap, where the guard will leave you wide open, and you've got to take on the trap, or you've got to take on a read off of a fullback quarterback movement, like a midline movement, something like that. So there's a lot of discipline that goes into it, and you got to have athleticism. It's kind of like our ends. Our ends forever have always had to maintain that they had to, stretch plays had to be our primary force player. But then, and when they've got a down block, they had to become a big gap player taking on the counter. So a lot goes on with these guys, and they're, like I said, I can talk almost as much about them as I can offensive line, because actually my first primary job was a defensive line coach, and so love talking about these guys, love doing it, love seeing them, do this stuff. Nothing's any better than watching a 3-tech, fight outside on an outside zone play, make a tackle, and then the very next play he just he just blew up a trap, and so he had to stay up there, and that means he's read and react. And like I said, that's one of those things that I can talk hours about and get excited over, but like I said, but this group overall has done a super job for us, and our success on defense, we've got some great linebackers, got a great secondary, but it all starts with those guys up front, and they're doing a heck of a job for us this year.
One more break, and then we'll talk with Coach Pickens about the matchup with the Oak Hill Raiders as Leake Academy football continues.
Build your barn with Ozark Ag from the ground up. Expanding your poultry operation is simple and fast when you turn to the poultry pros that you'll find at Ozark Ag. They're your go-to partner for poultry barn construction. So let's check that checklist, shall we? Full service design and build? Check. Equipment installation? Check. And service that lasts long after the barn is finished? Check. And by the way, this just in, check. Build strong together. Call or go by to get started. Ozark Ag, Highway 16, Carthage.
Moore's Pharmacy in Carthage, Sebastopol, and Walnut Grove appreciate you, their customers. We have a beautiful selection of gifts with free gift wrapping. We are one of the only pharmacies around to offer compounding and women's hormone replacement therapy. Moore's Pharmacy accepts all insurance, including Medicaid. Our 2-lane drive-thru and prescription synchronization will make your visit very convenient. Come see us. We have the shortest wait time in town and a professional staff to assist you. Moore's Pharmacy, Highway 16, Carthage.
Hunting season is here, and Leake County Co-op has everything you need to get ready. From ammunition to deer attractants, premium deer feed, and the seed to plant your perfect food plot, they've got you covered. And cattlemen, don't forget, it's almost time to plant ryegrass and winter wheat for winter grazing. Lock in the best pricing by prepaying for your ryegrass seed before October 15th. So whether you're headed to the woods or the pasture, come see us at Leake County Co-op, where neighbors help neighbors since 1936.
Ready for your next ride? Triple M Motors has been serving you for 54 years, offering unbeatable prices and an impressive selection to match every lifestyle. With easy financing options and top-notch service long after you drive away, your car buying experience is hassle-free from start to finish. Trust the name that's been in your corner for over 5 decades. Stop by Triple M Motors today and see why our customers keep coming back, generation after generation. Triple M Motors, Highway 35, Carthage.
Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, the original since 1974.
Philadelphia Gun and Pawn reminds you, size matters.
Which is why they have the largest collection of firearms your eyes have ever seen.
They carry a huge selection of Liberty and Browning safes in stock, and delivery is available.
Save 25% off select used firearms while you can.
Always giving you more bang for your buck.
Visit Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, 910 Posey Avenue in Philadelphia.
The original Philadelphia
Need to make your team stand out? In Sports has you covered. From high-quality screen printing on jerseys and fan gear to top-notch sports equipment, we bring your game to the next level. Celebrate your victories with our professional trophies and plaques, perfect for every champion. Whether you're gearing up for the season or commemorating a win, trust In Sports, where local teams shine brighter. Gear up, play hard, win big. In Sports, just off the square in Philadelphia.
Welcome back. One more coach interview segment in tonight's Crossgates Jewelers pregame. Leake and Oak Hill going to kick off at 7 o'clock. Coach, let's talk about these Oak Hill Raiders. They're a 2A ball club, former district opponent of ours from years past, and we're seeing them for the first time in about a decade. But in watching their film and seeing what they've done, you have to be impressed with their ground and pound attack, and they're a team that can really chew up some yards against an opponent.
Oh yeah, they're gonna come at you, hit you straight in the mouth, and they got a great coaching staff. I mean, it's a Hall of Fame crew. Their head coach is Coach Good, Tom Good Jr. Then you've got two guys that I know very well, Coach Bubba Davis. Back in the days, the West Point dynasties back in the 80s. That was the coach. He does a super job. He retired. He's been at Starfleet Academy. Now he's back over at Oak Hill helping them. And then you got Coach Tony Stanford, I've known for years, and he's just done a super job. He was the coach back in the Louisville days of the 80s. That dynasty, that group. He was the coach of those groups. So like I said, you got a staff that really does a good job, and the kids are going to be very fundamentally sound. They're going to be well coached, and that's what you see on film there. You kind of say, yeah, they're ground and pound, but there's a lot of discipline goes into being able to do that, and they do a great job with those kids this year. But yes, they're predominantly an under center team. Split backs type offenses, too tight. They'll get into the stack eye, as it became. It usually always be known as the stack eye. That was three backs straight in the line, but due to modern day madness or the NCAA college football EA sports game, it became known as the Maryland eye. I don't know when it became known as the Maryland eye, but so some people will refer to it as the Maryland eye, but it's still the old stack eye to me. But when you got a team that's going to do that, they're going to hit you in the face, and so we have to be ready to take on their physicality. They got some big linemen, and they're a physical group coming at you, and then they've got some guys that can make plays on the outside. They will get some shotgun some, and they'll run speed sweep, throw a little bit out of it. They'll throw out of the eye. So like I said, I think it was a couple of years ago last year. I think me and you were talking about Simpson when they'd gotten into that kind of split backs, run a lot of the belly leads, things like that. And I said, what makes that dangerous is the passes off of it, and that's the big thing to me. I know as a coach that has run too tight eye, and I remember in the mid 2000s we were racking up serious passing yards because number one, you get pass protection. Just about every play got max pass protection, and a lot of guys start to get so focused on stopping the run, coming up, tackling the running backs, that one of those tight ends receivers will be behind them before they do it. So So as I talked about them being disciplined to get in there and run those plays and those backs hitting the holes and all of that, you as a defense you have to play very disciplined. We talk about the D-line segment. They will run quick trap. So that's going to put a big emphasis on R3 techniques, really reading and reacting to what those guards do to them. They run a lot of counter, which we see counter a lot just about every week, but our ends have got to be able to take that. Linebackers got to be able to scrape over. So everybody's got to do their job. When you talk about a team coming at you, hitting you in the face, you think, okay, defensively, they're going to just go out there, they're going to hit them back in the face, but there's a lot of discipline with it. You got to you got to know your gap, because when this guy moves, he's taking this gap. Linebackers got to float over. Everybody's got to be in the right spot to fill up every gap they've got, and so that's our defense is going to have their hands full with stopping the run this week. And then when we're on offense, they run a 3-man front. Primarily it's a 3-stack. We have seen them do some other things. They'll kind of, like everybody runs 3-stack, they'll do some different things, different adjustments, different alignment out of it. But primarily it's a 3-stack foundation. They've got 3 big linemen in there, and they maintain that line of scrimmage. The 3 guys do a good job maintaining their line of scrimmage, and then their linebackers look very aggressive. I've seen them, make some big plays in the backfield. They come downhill very hard, very physical, and that's very common when you talk about what these guys had to practice against all in the preseason. That power football, well, that makes for some linebackers that'll come downhill and run plays. So and then they've got a good, very athletic secondary back there, and I think, like I said, and as Oak Hill comes in, I want to say they're 5-1, and they're either 5-1, they'll be 5-1. Yeah, some people now are 6-1 because of the week 0, but I think they're 5-1, and they got a lot of confidence. Their coaches have done a good job, so like I said, they're going to come in, ready to go.
Well, Coach, we hope all this week of practice and prep has a good payoff tonight against Oak Hill. Best of luck to you and the Rebels, and we appreciate you giving us time each week.
All right, thank you.
Hey, don't go anywhere. Kickoff is coming before you know it, and we'll take one more break, come back, and I'll give you the Philadelphia Gun and Pawn starters and take a closer look at some of the matchups in tonight's game as Leake Academy football continues from Boswell Media Sports.
When it comes to finding the perfect home, experience matters. Lee Realty is connecting buyers with quality new construction homes tailored to their needs. Hey, it's Stacey O'Neill with Lee Realty. Whether you're starting fresh or upgrading, our team will guide you every step of the way, making the process simple, smooth, and stress-free. Ready to get started? Give us a call today.
We don't want everyone's business, just yours. Lee Realty, 206 West 50th Street, Philadelphia, 601-562-7123.
If spending days looking for top dollar for your timber has left you feeling like you're barking up the wrong tree, then I would listen closely. Welch Forest Products in Union does it better than anyone and with the least possible damage to your property. Whether it's management, forestry care, pine plantation, thinning, or site prep, the last number you'll dial is 601-774-8200. They buy land with or without timber too. Call Bo Welch now at Welch Forest Products today. 601-774-8200.
Attention poultry farmers. South Group is proud to offer an exclusive insurance market tailored just for you. Whether you run a brand new operation or manage older breeder, broiler, or pullet houses, we've got you covered with some of the best rates in the industry. Protect your investment the smart way. Call Will Lawson Harkins or Jared Estes at South Group today for your custom quote. Call 601-267-0065. South Group Insurance. Local, experienced, and here for your farm.
Dr. Brooke Bobo and his staff at Carthage Veterinary Clinic wish you and your animals the very best. They treat all animals, large or small, with the care you would want for a member of your family. Carthage Veterinary Clinic provide for your sick or injured animals and also offer grooming and boarding as well. Located on Highway 16, Carthage Veterinary Clinic is open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 7:30 until 5:30.
Boswell Media Sports.
Here we go. We get in countdown mode from Thagard Field at Leake Academy. The Rebels and Oak Hill going to kick off at 7 o'clock. Glad to have you with us. Crossgates Jewelers pregame continuing. And we'll remind you, you can watch tonight's broadcast on the Triple M Motors video stream available at Kicks96news.com. And we're powered by Central Electric Power Association. Billy Staines, our studio engineer. Mason Middleton is tonight's camera operator, and we'll introduce our color commentator in just a minute after the Philadelphia Gun and Pawn starters. And the story tonight with starters is adventures in kicking, we'll call it tonight. Talked to Corey Burns when we got here at the stadium a little while ago, and he told us Caden Stovall is out tonight nursing sore hip, and so those kicking duties that he handles are going to be spread around. Joey Saki, we'll see him in some kickoff situations. We'll see Jack Johnston in punt situations, and we may see Easton Page in extra point and field goal situations. Easton was working on that. In fact, all three of those young men were out there practicing that in pregame warm-ups. And then that slot receiver position on offense, Riles Wilkerson's going to step into that position. He caught 3 passes last week, including a touchdown against Canton. The rest of the Rebel offense, Connor Moore, the senior at center. He touches the ball first. Guards, John Wyatt King, senior on the left side. Tanner Walsworth, Jr. on the right side. The tackles, John David Thomas, a junior on the left side. Lane Stewart, junior at right tackle. Wright Palokas will be in the slot. He had a touchdown catch, his first one of the year last week at Canton. He's a junior. Wide receiver, Easton Page, leading receiver on the club. Junior at wide receiver, 25 catches, 647 yards, 9 touchdowns. He's averaging 26 yards a catch on the season. We'll also, of course, have Gage Warren. He's got big play potential. He's a junior, caught touchdown pass last week. In fact, Gage has, as I look down my list here, he's got 5 TD catches on the year, 385 receiving yards total. Running back Garrett Adcock. Garrett's carried 54 times for 353 yards. That's a 6.5-yard average, 8 touchdowns on the year. And we'll also see some of John David Gill in that spot as well, the senior. And the quarterback, George Wilcox, QB1, has completed 60% of his passes for 1,430 yards, 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He was he got a lot of Player of the Week honors for his 2 quarters of work in Canton last week. Mentioned the specialist, Tanner Walsworth will be snapping on the extra points. Wright Palokas snapping on the punts. And then defensively, at nose guard, Alan Olivo, a senior. Talon Dillard next to him at defensive tackle, a junior. The defensive ends, junior Caden Monk, number 34. And then Joey Saki, number 17, of the other defensive end. They're both juniors. Linebackers, Carter Pigg's been playing well the last 2 or 3 weeks. He's an outside linebacker, a senior. You can always count on Kobe Kemp to hit people and knock them down. He's the middle linebacker, leading tackler on the squad. Jack Johnston had an interception last week, nearly took it in for 6, took it inside the 10 early in that ball game against Canton. He's the junior at outside linebacker. The corners, Brennan Evans on one side, the junior, and senior Joshua Gray on the other side. Will Garners at safety, a senior, and senior Braden Welch, the rover back. Those are your Philadelphia gun and pawn starters. Well, we'll remind you, Rebel fans, that Baptist Memorial Hospital Leake is honoring the late Old Ball coach Gilbert Barham by endowing the Gilbert Barham Color Commentators Chair. Tonight we welcome back longtime voice of the Grenada Chargers and Brandon Bulldogs, Hal Haddon. Hal, welcome to Thagard Field. You and I did the JA game on the road, but this is your first visit for a home game.
Oh, yes, it is, and I'm very happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me. It's a beautiful campus, a beautiful field. And we have an awesome night tonight. It's no clouds in the sky. It's temperatures rapidly getting into the 60s. And this is fall-like weather, which makes it excellent for football weather.
It does. Just a little bit of breeze blowing in, and the field looks great. Should be a fast track tonight. Field and weather conditions presented by Leake County Co-op. Hal's going to keep his eye on the coin toss down here. And we'll mention Leake leads this series 21 games to 13. On the season, but they haven't played since 2016. Leake won 55-3 on this field the last time they played 9 years ago. And here's a note that Coach Robbie gave me when we got here. Commemorating that night, he showed me a video, a 99-yard school record touchdown run by John David Sturdivant in that 55-3 win. And it was a thing of beauty. I will say those last 20 yards, though, John David was running on fumes, as I would be. But that's a good memory. So tell us about the coin toss, Hal.
Looks like to me that Leake has won the coin toss and they have deferred to the second half. So they will be on defense first.
Raiders ball first. They're in red helmets, white jerseys with red numerals, plain white football pants. Leake in navy helmets, navy jerseys with the white numbers, and the white pants with Rebels in block lettering down the side. We're just about set for kickoff. We'll tell you what else is going on in the district tonight. Tri-County is at St. Joe of Madison. Central Hines hosts West Memphis, Arkansas. And our opponent for next week, Riverfield, they're taking a trip up to Cleveland to play Bio Academy. Some other MAIS games going on tonight. A big game in South Mississippi, 5-1 Brookhaven Academy at undefeated Park Lane. On the other end of the spectrum of success, Bowling Green at 0-7, playing at Christian Collegiate, who's also 0-7. So that's the Something's Got to Give Bowl for tonight. Simpson at Capaya, Magnolia Heights at Starkville, Jackson Prep at Jackson Academy. That's one to keep an eye on. Jackson Prep starting to come on here late in the year. And then Lamar 6-1 at Hartfield, who's an unexpected 1-5. But that should also still be a really good game. Public school game, Scott Central at Leake Central. Kosciuszko at Louisville, one of the oldest rivalries in Mississippi, getting renewed tonight. And Kosciuszko's unbeaten coming into that game. Newton County at West Lauderdale, Starkville at Germantown, and Northeast Lauderdale at Choctaw Central. That's a good place to stop, and we'll take a break and come back with the kickoff. It's just about to happen, folks, so stay with us as Leake Academy football continues.
When dealing with something as complex as taxes and payroll can be, you can turn to Weaver Tax and Accounting to make things easier. Their professional staff works diligently to make sure your business and personal returns are complete and finished in a timely manner. Weaver Tax and Accounting will also execute your bookkeeping and payroll, bringing you the best in tax services since 1979. Weaver Tax and Accounting, 20 South Street, Sebastopol, and 109 Chadwick Avenue in Walnut Grove.
Premier Medical Group, PMG. Your good health is our priority.
The new clinic is open. Premier Medical Group in Carthage has opened their new clinic at 300 South Pearl Street, and they welcome nurse practitioners Reagan Smith and Julie Harrington to their team. Schedule your appointment with any of their providers today at 601-298-0333.
Walk into the shimmering world of Crossgates Jewelers and Pearl, where every piece of fine jewelry will tell a story and represent the memories of your life. Their GIA graduate gemologist will show you their exquisite collection of engagement rings and bridal sets, answering any questions you may have when choosing the perfect diamond and setting. Their expert in-house repairs ensures your cherished items are in the best hands. Crossgate Jewelers, located at the corner of Cross Park and Highway 80 in Pearl. You are unique, and your jewelry should be too.
Dr. Ryan Anderson and his crew at Central Mississippi Animal Clinic love getting to know you and your pets. In addition to your pet's health care, they offer boarding that will be your fur baby's home away from home. Become a member of the Central Mississippi Animal Clinic family today. Download the Central Mississippi Animal Clinic app or go to centralmississippianimalclinic.com. Central Mississippi Animal Clinic, Highway 35, Carthage.
Hello, Rebel fans. It's time for kickoff. Moore's Pharmacy welcomes you to an exciting night of Friday night football. Moore's Pharmacy takes great pride in supporting Leake Academy Rebels, the perfect place to start your weekend. Okay, Rebels, let's kick it off.
Boswell Media Sports.
Homecoming week wrapping up here with a 7 o'clock kickoff. Leake Academy and Oak Hill will have the presentation of the 2025 homecoming court as our Carthage Veterinary Clinic halftime special presentation. Bonus coverage of that. You won't miss a minute of it. Our guy Mason's going to take care of that. Make sure you see everything you need to see. And Hal and I will do our part by keeping our mouths closed. And we'll point our mics toward the field and let you enjoy the presentation of the halftime court. Hal, as we get started here, Oak Hill's going to get it first, and we know from talking to Coach and looking at game film, this is a team that's going to line up with a couple of tight ends, a fullback. Remember fullbacks?
It's been a long time ago.
Used to be a thing. You're going to learn about it tonight. If you haven't seen the I formation and power I and stack I and some of that, you're in for a retro education in offensive football. And Oak Hill's going to try to play smash-mouth football, run it right at you and run over you. They've done it well. They've done it to a 6-1 record against some opponents that are not at the level of Leaks. The one team that's beaten them has been Rossville Christian. But here we go. Joey Saki filling in as kicker tonight. He'll come forward on it. Kicking in over in line drive kick. Hit at the right hash at the 20. Gets scooped up near the 15. Chance Harris tries to cut to the left, but the Rebels' pursuit gets there. Joshua Gray takes his feet out from under him And at the 28-yard line, that's where they'll start tonight. First quarter presented by Carthage Collision Center.
It was not a bad kick, and it was an excellent tackle. Excellent.
They officially move it to the 29. Seems a little generous, but we won't get too upset about that yet. And here it is, folks, if you're watching on the Triple M Motors video stream, that the offset power I. A little heavy to the right. A little motion early, but no flags come out. They'll toss it, run that play out toward the numbers right side, and get 5, maybe 6 yards. They toss it to the big back, Boston Cunningham, and he just bowled his way up to the 30.
Very tight formation. They set power to the right. If this is what we're going to see tonight, it's going to be interesting to see how Leake Academy is going to set their defense.
2nd and 4 for the Raiders. The Rebels have won the last 13 meetings in this series. They played pretty much every year from 1978 to about 2001. Now they'll get in a more customary kind of set, handed off on the jet sweep. Left side, the Rebels cut it off before it can turn into anything positive. DJ Gardner did not find anywhere to go, and middle linebacker Kobe Kemp met him in the hole.
Excellent. They basically set it up where they had deuces on the left side, and it was interesting that you thought they were stacking it up and getting into power formation, but our linebacker basically sliced through and was able to make penetration and stop what would have been a decent play for them, but it was a great play for Leake Academy.
3rd and 3. They get back in that power I, stack it, or move it out actually with wing backs. Fake a handoff and get it in the backfield. Rebels are back there, and Gardner has to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all he'll get. Rebels, Kobe Kemp and Caden Monk messing that one up, and it's 4th down.
One of the things I saw, I made a comment a while ago, but to see how Leake Academy is going to adjust on that particular series, they actually put another man in what we call the box and had excellent penetration.
4th and 3. They're lining up in that stacked eye to go for it on 4th down. Big play early. Now looks like they'll adjust to a punt formation. That get a quick kick, tumbles inside the 30. No Rebels back there to scoop it up. It rolls down close to the 16-yard line and gets down there. So a successful punt, but a successful 3 and out for the Rebel defense. 9:42 to go first quarter, no score.
Excellent series for the defense. Excellent.
And if you're counting from the 33, that punt just went 51 yards, by the way. Got about a 20-yard roll. Rebels open up with a 4 wide out set. Riles Wilkerson in the slot right side along with Easton Page. Split wide to the right. Palokas and Warren out to the left. 3-man front, wide set for the Oak Hill defense. First down, Wilcox gets rid of it quickly. Pass caught at the 20. Gage Warren had to go to his knees to get it. Picks up 4, but the play's blown dead right there.
It's a simple, what you call, slant to the end. He had to go down for it. Pass was a little low, but, those things happen.
Cornerback Charles David Hill was having to give some cushion there. You got to respect the speed of Warren. 2nd down and 6 from the 20. Chest high snap, handoff. Lots of room to run for Adcock. 30 to the outside, 35. He's hitting the sideline, 50, 40. He is going to take it all the way. That's a touchdown run, 6 for the Rebels. 80 yards, career long for Garrett Adcock, and it's 6-0 Rebels. Rebel touchdowns presented by Weaver Tax and Accounting.
Excellent. Basically, power. A passing formation. They had receivers on both sides. They pulled the defense out and caught them in the seams and made an excellent run from going basically across the guard tackle. Center to the right side, and it was a foot race, and he won the foot race.
6-0 Leake, and Easton Page will attempt his first point after attempt of his career, filling in for Caden Stovall, who's unavailable tonight. Hold. Kick is a line drive, but it's right through the uprights, and there's a big celebration on the Rebel bench, Easton Page knocks it through. It's 7-0 Leake. We'll be back with the Moore's Pharmacy kickoff as Leake Academy football rolls on.
Premier Medical Group, PMG. Your good health is our priority.
The new clinic is open. Premier Medical Group in Carthage has opened their new clinic at 300 South Pearl Street, and they welcome nurse practitioners Reagan Smith and Julie Harrington to their team. Schedule your appointment with any of their providers today at 601-298-0333.
Walk into the shimmering world of Crossgates Jewelers in Pearl, where every piece of fine jewelry will tell a story and represent the memories of your life. Their GIA graduate gemologist will show you their exquisite collection of engagement rings and bridal sets, answering any questions you may have when choosing the perfect diamond and setting. Their expert in-house repairs ensures your cherished items are in the best hands. Crossgate Jewelers, located at the corner of Cross Park and Highway 80 in Pearl. You are unique, and your jewelry should be too.
Boswell Media Sports.
Moore's Pharmacy kickoff. Hits to the 15. Chance Harris has trouble picking it up, has to go inside the 5 to get it. Now he's getting to the outside, and he's got room to run. Outside the numbers, 40, 50. Rebels, Brennan Evans will hit him along with Jack Johnston inside the 40, but that's a huge response play on the bobbled kickoff from Chance Harris and puts the Raiders in good position.
It was one of those plays where basically we out-kicked our coverage, and then once and the young man fumbled the ball, let it roll between his legs. But once it got to that point, it was one of them things where he was able to outrun us, outmaneuver our players, and got him in open, hitting the speed.
Got timeout call. There's an injured Rebel back at the 35-yard line over on the south end of the field, and that's Braden Welch who's getting looked at. Play stops with 8:41 to play in the Carthage Collision Center first quarter. It's 7-0 Leake. The Rebels just went 86 yards in 2 plays. Got an 80-yard touchdown run from Garrett Adcock. As we mentioned, that's a career-long, his 9th TD run of the year. You hear the applause. Braden Welch up to his feet. Able to put weight on both feet, but he's favoring that right leg, coming off slowly with David Jones and Coach Brian Pickens and offensive coordinator Corey Burns coming out to look at him. Philip Palmertree and Hal Haddon here. Haddon rhymes with Madden, so I may say Madden and mean Haddon sometime, or vice versa.
It's true.
Rebels will have John David Gill in at safety, replacing Welch. 1st and 10, right hash. Under center goes the quarterback, Jackson Holton, the junior. There's a hard count. Single back behind him, 3 wide receivers. Handoff straight ahead, and the Rebels stop it before it starts. Simon Reynolds could not get past about the 35-yard line. They got about half a yard. We'll give him 1 at 2nd and 9.
It's interesting. You can tell that Leake Academy has watched a lot of film on these guys this past week, because a lot of these guys know what the plays are, and they recognize the formations, and they were not fooled at all. There was no deception. They went for the ball carrier and was right on the numbers.
Caden Monk and Talon Dillard were back there as soon as the handoff was made. 2nd and 9+. Now an I formation behind Holton. They'll roll him out to the left. Lefty throws it. Had a man at the 25, but it's off his fingertips, incomplete. Bo Parrish, his tight end, was in some open space, but they miss it, incomplete. 3rd and 9. $7:52 to go first quarter. Possession play coming up for Oak Hill. They're trying to take advantage of a good kickoff return that set them up with premium field position. They'll put Harris and Gardner split to the left, along with an H-back, single back behind Holton. He's going to roll out to the left. Pump, throw complete inside the 25. They got it to Gardner, and he was able to get a couple of toes down before he went out of bounds, and they convert and get the first down. They get about 10 yards on that play.
It was basically what I call the same play. They just stacked an extra receiver into the zone and was able to complete it this time. And they knew exactly where they had to go to get the first down.
1st and 10 for Oak Hill, their initial first down of the evening. Operating in LA territory. Receiver to each side. Holton hands it to the big tailback. Rebels stop him as he gets near the 19-yard line. Alan Olivo tripped up Boston Cunningham. Gain of 4, maybe we'll call it 4, almost 5.
Yep. The defense is really, the line is, they're staying in the hose. They're plugging it up, and it's making it tough on the run. That was not an easy 4 yards for Oak Hill to get. They made it rough.
We're going to have a physical, rock'em sock'em kind of ball game tonight. Offset I. H-back on the right side, a tight end on the left. No receivers split out. Toss it to Cunningham. He's got blockers in front of him. Going to follow along them. Their backs inside the 15 down to about the 13, maybe the 12. That's going to be enough to move the chains and get Oak Hill another first down in the performance therapy red zone.
It's just a simple play where they basically had the strong side to the right side. They stacked it with their tight end on that end and an extra back. And we've seen that a lot tonight, but they basically what I call misdirection. They've gone to the left, and this time they just followed their strength.
1st and 10, line of scrimmage, actually the 11-yard line. Oak Hill would love to answer the Leake big strike. Now they run a T formation. And the Rebel sideline wants to use the Lee Realty timeout. We'll take it with them. 6:28 to go first quarter. Rebels up 7-0. We'll return.
Dr. Ryan Anderson and his crew at Central Mississippi Animal Clinic love getting to know you and your pets. In addition to your pet's health care, they offer boarding that will be your fur baby's home away from home. Become a member of the Central Mississippi Animal Clinic family today. Download the Central Mississippi Animal Clinic app or go to centralmississippianimalclinic.com. Central Mississippi Animal Clinic, Highway 35, Carthage.
Ready for your next ride? Triple M Motors has been serving you for 54 years, offering unbeatable prices and an impressive selection to match every lifestyle. With easy financing options and top-notch service long after you drive away, your car buying experience is hassle-free from start to finish. Trust the name that's been in your corner for over 5 decades. Stop by Triple M Motors today and see why our customers keep coming back, generation after generation. Triple M Motors, Highway 35, Carthage.
Boswell Media Sports.
1st and 10 from the Rebel 11. T formation, handoff to the fullback. He gets turned around and spilled after a gain of about 4, maybe 5. That was 40, Simon Reynolds on the carry.
Just a simple dive, take your pick off which lineman. Quarterback was able to look at the hole and then
They get about 4.5. We'll call it 5. 2nd and 5 from just outside the 6.
They're not doing anything fancy. They're just, like you said, they're lining up. It's power football on their side. They're not even hardly disguising. It's just simply stop us if you can.
Ball right between the hash marks, middle of the field. Stack eye, 3 backs behind Holton. He gets under center. 2nd down call, straight ahead Cunningham. He gets hit, turned around, slowed down, and shoved back. Whole bunch of blue shirts in there. Probably more in there than weren't in there. It's easy to say who wasn't in on the tackle.
There was a lot of jerseys there, a lot of jerseys. And it's one of them things where, once again, both sides they're gonna flood the line of scrimmage and just try to find the gaps.
3rd down play. They get down to the 4. 3rd and 3. They can get to the 1 and get a 1st and goal. So this is not a goal-to-go situation. Under 5 minutes to play in the Carthage Collision Center first quarter. Rebels up 7-0. Here's a big 3rd down play. Whistles right before the snap, going to be a legal procedure against Oak Hill, and the Raiders just gave the Rebels a gift.
Yes, it did. It pushed them back 5 yards, and, it's one of them things where, you make it a little bit more difficult for them. But, I can imagine this is basically because of the score, and there could be a lot of scores tonight. This is 4-down territory. This is not a field goal type setting. Could be wrong, but
they walk the ball back just about the 10-yard line. Well, in fact, now they've moved it. That's about where it should be, right at the 9. So 3rd and 8 now from the 9. Offset I. One receiver to the left. That's Harris. Give it to Cunningham. Tailback runs into trouble. Can't get anywhere. Ball came loose late, but he had already hit the ground. The Rebels stopped that play for no gain.
At the end of the day, they lined up in a slightly different formation, but it was still strong to the right, and they are trying to exploit what they perceive as the weakness of Leake County, and it's not there. The young men are standing there, holding their ground.
Well, as you said, Hal, 4th down is not field goal time if you're Oak Hill. They're going to take advantage of every red zone opportunity they can. They're looking for 6, stay in this game and keep up with Leake. So they're going to get in a shotgun set and put the running back Reynolds to the left of Holton. Send a receiver in motion. Roll out Holton. Throw toward the end zone. Receiver open. He's got it, and that's an Oak Hill touchdown. They convert the 4th down from 9 yards out. Good job, and ball thrown right in the chest of the receiver, DJ Gardner. 7-6 the score, and an opportunity to tie if they want to kick it, but it looks like they're going to send the offense back out there and go for 2. 3:56 to play. A 5-minute drive for Oak Hill. They covered 35 yards. So they'll line up in the offset I, receiver to the right. Toss it to Cunningham. Rebels hit him and drive it backwards, and that's a 2-point conversion play blown up. And how about the middle linebacker, Kobe Kemp, bringing the lumber?
Excellent.
So
excellent stop.
Leake stays in front, 7-6 with 3:56 to go in tonight's Carthage Collision Center first quarter. We'll keep it here through the kickoff.
That was roughly a 9-play, 35, 36-yard drive. One of the things, and I'm sure the coaches are looking at this as well, is that I'm not sure if it has to do with the fact that this is a left-handed quarterback, but he's only really going to his left. And that's something that the coaches are going to play, because he threw 3 passes on that drive and completed 2. That's all to the left side in the flats.
Yep, and they're a lot more comfortable rolling him out, giving him a little more time to see down the field, but it does narrow the area which you have available to complete a pass, so that's a trade-off. But they worked it well on that drive, and they're within 1 point. 7-6 Leake.
You can make adjustments on that fairly quickly, and I think if that's how they're going to throw their passes.
Here's the Moore's Pharmacy kickoff. Boston Cunningham is their kicker. He's got it teed up between the hashes at the 40. Leake 7, Oak Hill 6. Kickoff high in the air, taken at the 18-yard line by Garrett Adcock outside the numbers 30. And he gets hit hard as he crosses the 35 up to the 37. That got a big cheer from the Oak Hill faithful. Line of scrimmage, the 37 for Leake on their second possession, leading 7-6 with 3:50 to play in the first quarter.
It was what you would call a noisemaker type tackle. It was very solid.
And hey, let me say this is a good time to say something I intended to say earlier. Welcome into any Oak Hill fans who are watching us on the Boswell Media Sports YouTube channel. Thank you for listening and watching back there in Clay County and beyond. Good to have you here. Philip Palmertree and Hal Haddon bringing you the action from Madden. 4 wide out set on first down. They'll give it to Adcock. He's up to the second level. Breaks through 50, 40, 30, He's going the distance. That's 6 for the Rebels. They just went 63 yards.
Yep.
And Garrett Adcock, the junior, has almost 150 yards on 2 totes.
Yes. Actually, it's 143 yards on two carries.
Rebel touchdowns presented by Weaver Tax and Accounting is 13-6. The Rebels will attempt the extra point off the toe of Easton Page.
You know, it was interesting, and I'm sure that they're going to look at this as well, but they're setting their defense up for us to throw the ball. We're spreading them out, and they're following through, and it is creating some holes, and we're doing excellent blocking downfield. Excellent blocking.
Jack Johnston, the holder. Easton Page is usually the holder, but he's kicking it. Hold, kick, and looks great from here. Yeah. And it's 14-6 with 3:39 to play first quarter. We'll return as Leake Academy football continues.
Dr. Brooke Bobo and his staff at Carthage Veterinary Clinic wish you and your animals the very best. They treat all animals, large or small, with the care you would want for a member of your family. Carthage Veterinary Clinic provide for your sick or injured animals and also offer grooming and boarding as well. Located on Highway 16, Carthage Veterinary Clinic is open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 7:30 until 5:30, and Wednesday and Saturday from 7:30 till noon.
For 87 years, we've been your biggest fans. Rest assured, while you are cheering on your favorite team this season, Central Electric's team is working around the clock to provide reliable service year-round. Whether building power lines in extreme weather conditions or restoring power on a stormy night, Central Electric employees take your electric service seriously. We will be there to keep the game on. So enjoy this football season and take comfort in our team's reliable service all year long. It's our commitment to you, serving you since 1937. This institution is an equal opportunity provider and employer.
Boswell Media Sports.
The Moore's Pharmacy kickoff. Keith Saki doing it for the third time. It's Leake 14, Oak Hill 6. About 3.5 minutes to play in the Carthage Collision Center first quarter. We want to remind Rebel fans that Premier Medical of Carthage is the official wellness sponsor of Leake Academy Athletics. Their clinics open 7:30 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. Squib kick, taken around the 25. That's Chance Harris, who had the big return earlier, trying to move to the outside left, but the Rebels string him out, and Brennan Evans, with a tremendous open field tackle, drags him down before he can turn it up from the 25.
Excellent pursuit. They strung it out and basically would not let him get around the corner and made an excellent tackle.
Great play from Brennan Evans. Gavin Gamillion in the game at linebacker for the Rebs. Rebels playing essentially a 4-4 right now with 3 DBs. Braden Welch left the game earlier. He has not returned. He's standing on the sideline right now.
Yeah.
Ball's on the ground on a handoff to Reynolds, and the Rebels have recovered the fumble at the 26.
Yep. It was just a very poor exchange between the quarterback and the running back, and they did not recover it.
Carter Pigg getting the fumble at the 26-yard line. One play and disaster for the Raiders. Leake leading 14-6, takes over with field position in their favor at the 26, 3:25 to play in the first quarter. Again, 2x2 receivers. Adcock, 2 long touchdown runs at the right hip of George Wilcox. Rebels have run all of 3 offensive plays. Looking at that 3-man front. Looking to the left, open at the 22 is number 22, Gage Warren. He absorbs a hard hit, gets a couple of more yards after contact down to the 13, and that's a Central Mississippi Animal Clinic first down on a 13-yard gain.
It was just simply just roll back, throw to the left, and they gave him so much cushion. They're giving him about a 15-yard cushion. You've got to take advantage of that.
First and 10, they're in the performance therapy red zone. 3 wide outs to the right, looking in that direction. Throw into the end zone, the corner. Easton Page
touchdown.
Gets it, and he's inbounds. Got one foot down in the back right corner. That's 6 for the Rebels. Rebel touchdowns presented by Weaver Tax and Accounting, and boy, they didn't leave any room to spare in that back corner of the end zone.
It was just excellent. He threw to the corner, and number 6 was right there on the corner and was able to get his feet down. It was wonderful.
Here's the extra point.
Yeah.
Plenty high, plenty long, and it's good. Page 3 for 3 filling in as the kicker tonight. 21-6 Rebels with 2:55 to go in the first. Will return.
Did you know most people overpay by up to 50% for individual health insurance? David Barham Insurance will save you that. Plus, David has the best rates on the market for Medicare Supplement. The solution is not on the internet or far away. It's right here in Carthage. David Barham, a local insurance agent you can trust. Make sure you have the best coverage and price. Call David Barham, 601-941-1280 on the north side of the square in Carthage.
When memories matter most, trust Wilcox Funeral Home to honor your loved one's legacy with compassion and dignity. Our caring team walks with you every step of the way, providing comfort and support during life's most difficult moments. From personalized services to attentive planning, Wilcox Funeral Home is your partner in remembrance and healing. Celebrate a life well lived, because every story deserves to be told, cherished, and never forgotten. Wilcox Funeral Home. Our family, serving your family for 90 years now. Jordan Street, Carthage.
Boswell Media Sports.
Keith Saki line drives it, bouncing inside the 30, 25, picked up near the sideline by Harris. He gets past one defender and then gets knocked sideways into the far boundary by Will Garner. Field position from the 39-yard line for Oak Hill as they take over with 2:49 to go in the first quarter. Leake 21, Oak Hill 6.
Effective kickoffs to the point where we are minimizing. You know, they're getting a few yards. And their starting position has been fairly decent, but our coverage is good.
First and 10 from the 39. Here's our first score update on that big rivalry game over in Winston County. Undefeated Kosciuszko trails Louisville after one quarter, 8-6. Louisville 8, Kosciuszko 6.
It's a very close game.
3 wide outs. They'll bring the slot man in motion. Jet sweep. And, boy, get in the backfield and dumping Harris on his side is 56, Alan Olivo.
Once again, these young men for Leake, they've seen the game film. They know a lot of their plays, and they are just crushing that line of scrimmage. And that's where you win ball games, if you control the line of scrimmage.
Tackle for loss, 6 yards on the play.
And, Leake has not changed their defense. They're still at what I call a 4-3. They are dragging up one of their safeties closer to the line of scrimmage because they are in a power formation. But
they've moved Jack Johnston back to that rover position, so he's playing back as a safety but cheating down some. Against a 4-man front, they'll roll out Holton, being chased by Caden Monk, running out of room, throws in the sideline, nearly intercepted by Joshua Gray at the 45.
They made the adjustment. They basically they allowed what I call a floater on number 1, and he was in position to intercept that ball.
Third down and a lot. 3rd and 16 from the 33.
And this is if you're Oak Hill, this can be dangerous for you because you can't do anything that's that pushes you out of your comfort zone because you've already had one turnover so far. You don't really want another one, and this score get out of hand even more than what I call it is now.
Their offensive philosophy, this situation doesn't play to their strengths. 3 wide receivers. They're in the shotgun. They look like they want to put it in the air. They do. They'll throw a wobbler, and then it's caught in Rebel territory, the 45 by Harris. And Joshua Gray fell down in coverage, got turned around and stumbled, and that let Harris get open for the first down. Good 3rd down conversion for the Raiders.
They had when I say Oak Hill had basically good coverage for their quarterback, and he just threw it up there. And like you said, our DB fell, and that allowed that play to be a positive play.
Gain of 22 for Oak Hill. Clock in motion, 137, 136, 135 in the Carthage Collision Center first quarter. Harris will get out to the wide side of the field to the right. Gardner with a touchdown catch, split to the near side. Out of the eye, they'll hand it to the fullback. And Talon Dillard will give him a bear hug and hold him to a gain of 2 down to the 43.
Once again, our defensive line is making it really tough on them to run. It's just I'm not sure how they will solve that problem, but I hope they don't. But it's one of them things where, and we're only running 4, and they are holding their ground.
Under a minute to play in the opening quarter, Leake leads at 21-6. T formation, 2 tight ends. That also begins with T. Run some fakeries, sweep around to the right side. Gardner runs into Jack Johnston, and Jack Johnston will not let him go. And, boy, the Rebels start piling on. They'll stop him for, let's see where they put the forward progress stop. Oh, that's a tackle for loss back to the 47.
Well, the thing is he kept fighting, which is an attaboy for number 6, which is DJ Garner. But when he basically turned around and tried to recover, they basically gave him the loss.
That's going to be the final play of tonight's Carthage Collision Center first quarter, and we'll step aside. Leake leading 21-6. Leake Academy football continues.
Philadelphia Gun and Pine, the original since 1974.
Philadelphia Gun and Pawn reminds you, size matters.
Which is why they have the largest collection of firearms your eyes have ever seen.
They carry a huge selection of Liberty and Browning safes in stock, and delivery is available.
Save 25% off select used firearms while you can.
Always giving you more bang for your buck.
Visit Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, 910 Posey Avenue in Philadelphia.
The original Philadelphia Gun and Pine.
Build your barn with Ozark Ag from the ground up. Expanding your poultry operation is simple and fast when you turn to the poultry pros that you'll find at Ozark Ag. They're your go-to partner for poultry barn construction. So let's check that checklist, shall we? Full service design and build? Check. Equipment installation? Check. And service that lasts long after the barn is finished? Check. And by the way, this just in? Check. Build strong together. Call or go by to get started. Ozark Ag, Highway 16, Carthage.
Boswell Media Sports.
3rd down and 12 for the visitors from West Point. They're at the Rebel 47-yard line. Leake 21, Oak Hill 6. This Week 7 contest from Thagard Field in Madden on homecoming night. Ball on the right hash, 3 wide receivers. Shotgun set. Jackson Holton get it out of his hands quickly to Harris. Dancing around, but has blue shirts in front of him. Gavin Gamillion and Joshua Gray don't let him get past the line of scrimmage. They've got maybe a half a yard. They'll give him the 46, but it's 4th and 11.
That was a slightly different twist, and but basically it was, I guess, what you would call maybe a bubble screen to the side. Not really. I'm trying to find the word for it, but it just didn't execute very well.
Quick wide receiver screen.
Yeah.
In fact, they marked him back to the 47, so no gain. They'll get in the stack eye. Some people call it Maryland eye. Now they'll get into that punt formation. Second time they've done that tonight. Boston Cunningham will drop the nose of the football, aim it for the right corner. It's going to get a nice roll down toward the 10. Harris gets on it at about the 11-yard line. Leake starts there with 11:07 to play second quarter. Second quarter of Leake Academy football is presented by Welch Forest Products.
Very effective little punt. It's nothing great. But when you have nobody back there to basically catch it and return it, you should get a few yards.
It has been big play strikes for Leake.
Yes.
Going in this game early. They've got 89 yards of grass in front of them. Opening minute of the second quarter. Rebels will be at River Field next week. We'll have to cross the Mississippi River to bring you the story of Leake Academy football next week. We begin district play. 3 wide receivers to the right.
Gage Warren, the lone receiver, standing along the 10-yard line to the left. Shotgun set. Senior George Wilcox takes a belt high snap, throwing it deep. Has Easton Page at midfield, and that's going to be 89 yards. 6 for the Rebels. Got behind the defense, and a perfect pass right at the LA logo at midfield, and Easton Page has just caught his 10th touchdown pass of the year. Rebels touchdowns presented by Weaver Tax and Accounting.
It was just one of them things where we use the phrase pitch and catch. There's nothing more you can say. That their safeties did not pick up, and their corners turned him loose, and he was wide open about the 45-yard line, and it was it was incredible.
Thing of beauty.
Yes, it was.
Page 3 for 3, trying to go 4 for 4 in extra points. Snap, hold, kick. Ain't no problem with that one either. 28-6 with 10:53 to go in the second quarter. We'll return with more Leake Academy football.
My knee rehab was 100% successful thanks to Performance Therapy. They sat down with me and created a plan to ensure I would achieve my personal rehabilitation goals, and they encouraged me to get the most out of every session. Performance Therapy provided plenty of material for me to continue my rehab in between sessions too. Hopefully I don't have to see them in the future, but if I did, I would definitely choose Performance Therapy again.
For more information, go to performancetherapyms.com. Performance Therapy, Carthage, Philadelphia, and Forest.
Moore's Pharmacy in Carthage, Sebastopol, and Walnut Grove appreciate you, their customers. We have a beautiful selection of gifts with free gift wrapping. We are one of the only pharmacies around to offer compounding and women's hormone replacement therapy. Moore's Pharmacy accepts all insurance, including Medicaid. Our 2-lane drive-thru and prescription synchronization will make your visit very convenient. Come see us. We have the shortest wait time in town and a professional staff to assist you. Moore's Pharmacy, Highway 16, Carthage.
Boswell Media Sports.
Here's the Moore's Pharmacy kickoff. Going to go to the scoreboard and the stat sheet in just a minute. That presented by Wilcox Funeral Home. Saki hits it inside the 20-yard line. Harris up the right hash toward the middle of the field. Gets slowed down, and Caden Monk able to close in on him before he can hit the 30-yard line. Be the 29-yard line for Oak Hill, trailing Leake 28-6 early second quarter. Hal, a couple of things we'll check in with you. Let's talk scoreboard. You've got a score that raises some eyebrows from public school.
In the 11:42 in the second quarter, Germantown leads Starkville 7-0. At the end of the first quarter, Greenwood leads Yazoo City 2-0.
Those are the football touching the 30. Split a receiver to each side. Classic I formation. Handoff Cunningham. Good pursuit from the defensive end. Caden Monk hit him, slowed him down as he has to push ahead for 2, maybe 3. They'll give him the 33, and it'll be 2nd and 7.
Another score I've got that will probably be interested around here in the second quarter. Choctaw County is leading Aberdeen 21-0.
Chargers defending 3A state champions playing well. Our score here 28-6, 10-13 to play second quarter. Second quarter presented by Welch Forest Products. 2nd and 7 for the Raiders. Out of an offset eye. Fake the toss, roll out Holton. He's got a defender in his face, has to put it up deep. 50-50 ball for Harris, incomplete inside the 40, and got to pat Brennan Evans on the top of the helmet for good coverage.
It was very excellent coverage. It's one of them things, like I said, it's a 50-50 ball, and you don't know how the referees are going to treat that. He was basically letting them play.
3rd down and 7.
Another score guy just a minute ago in the second quarter, Jackson Prep is leading
JA
10-0.
Okay, that game played at JA as well.
And that's kind of a shocker because I thought JA had the talent basically to play with Prep.
Yeah. And Prep started out 1-3, but they have gotten it together, getting better. They just had a young team, but they've got plenty of talent and good coaching. Here's the 3rd down play. Handoff Left side, but not much there for Reynolds. The Rebels stop him at the 36-yard line. About 3 Navy shirts there. Kobe Kemp, Alan Olivo, and Joey Saki.
Oh, here's another score in the second quarter. Copiah County Academy is leading Simpson Academy. It's like 28-0.
Okay, Copiah's been kind of laying in the weeds up there in 4A. Haven't made a lot of noise, but you know they're good year in, year out. 4th and 5, and to action here. Oak Hill is going to, looks like they're going to let the clock run down, play clock run down, and then take a Lee Realty timeout and talk about what they want to do with 4th and 5 at the 35. If that's indeed what they do, we'll hit you with a commercial and be back with 9:06 to go second quarter. Rebels 28, Oak Hill 6.
Attention poultry farmers. South Group is proud to offer an exclusive insurance market tailored just for you. Whether you run a brand new operation or manage older breeder, broiler, or pullet houses, we've got you covered with some of the best rates in the industry. Protect your investment the smart way. Call Will Lawson Harkins or Jared Estes at South Group today for your custom quote. Call 601-267-0065. South Group Insurance. Local, experienced, and here for your farm.
Need to make your team stand out? In Sports has you covered. From high-quality screen printing on jerseys and fan gear to top-notch sports equipment, we bring your game to the next level. Celebrate your victories with our professional trophies and plaques, perfect for every champion. Whether you're gearing up for the season or commemorating a win, trust In Sports, where local teams shine brighter. Gear up, play hard, win big. In Sports, just off the square in Philadelphia.
Boswell Media Sports.
4th and 5 facing Oak Hill after a Lee Realty timeout. 9:06 to play second quarter. Leake 28, Oak Hill 6. Offense out there. They'll set up in the offset eye. Roll out, quarterback to the right side, have a receiver wide open, but the pass underthrown a little bit, and Reynolds had to slide to try to get it. Even if he had caught it, he wouldn't have had the first down. So the Rebels take over on downs at the 35 with 9 minutes to play in the half.
It was an excellent coverage. You know, they basically got one-on-one. Had their quarterback been able to get it to the receiver, you know, he possibly could have run for a little while because it was just there was nobody on that side of the field. But it was a great play by the defense.
And Hal, you had a total offense number after that last drive for the Rebels.
Roughly 248 yards.
Wow, and they have run only 6 offensive plays.
Maybe 7.
Maybe 7.
But I'm going to use the word maybe.
Play fake, pressure coming back there on Wilcox. He's in trouble in the backfield. He's going to be sacked. No, he's going to throw it into the sideline. And Wright Palokas was not all that far away, but Wilcox was falling down when he got hit, and Coach Pickens didn't like how that situation unfolded. He's letting his offense hear about it.
Could have been disastrous for Leake. You know, it's one in with at least a 10-yard sack, maybe 15. But he wasn't. George was smart enough where he knew exactly what he had to do. Smart young man. Just basically find somebody in the bleachers to throw to.
George Wilcox has not been sacked since week 2 against Jackson Academy. 2nd and 10. Gets rid of it quickly. Slot receivers got it. Wright Palokas outside 20. Trying to break a tackle in the 15, but he gets his legs wrapped up by Briar Colvin in the Performance Therapy Red Zone at the 12, and that's a gain of 23 yards and a Central Mississippi Animal Clinic first down.
You know, I love the way Leake is basically, they're spreading out. They're taking half the receivers down the field and creating a zone right up behind the linebackers where these guys are wide open.
From the 12, throw to the right corner of the end zone. Man open, Easton Page dropped right in his hands. 6 more for the Rebels with 8:28 to go in the second. It's 34-6. Extra point coming. Rebel touchdowns presented by Weaver Tax and Accounting.
That was basically same thing, but he just found his different man. It was very similar to the same play, the second touchdown they scored where it was in the corner, and he just threw to a spot at number 6. Was right there on the spot. He didn't have to tiptoe this time.
Second TD pass for QB1 tonight. Extra point. That went off to the side. No good. 34-6, 8:28 to go. Second quarter. We'll return with more Leake Academy football.
If spending days looking for top dollar for your timber has left you feeling like you're barking up the wrong tree, then I would listen closely. Welch Forest Products in Union does it better than anyone and with the least possible damage to your property. Whether it's management, forestry care, pine plantation, thinning, or site prep, the last number you'll dial is 601-774-8200. They buy land with or without timber too. Call Bo Welch now at Welch Forest Products today. 601-774-8200.
Roll into Junction Deli, where nourishment meets journey. On the menu, delectable breakfast, lunch, and supper. Whether you're in Philadelphia, Newton, Union, Carthage, Louisville, Oxford, or Scuba, we're the local pit stop that blends the allure of delicious food with the convenience of a fuel station. Remember, when your stomach grumbles or your tank covers on empty, we're just around the corner. Download the Junction app for ordering convenience and look for the new car wash in Louisville next to Walmart.
Boswell Media Sports.
Correct myself. Third touchdown pass from George Wilcox tonight. All three to Easton Page. Morris Pharmacy kickoff taken by Harris. The 22. They'll get 10, 11 yards up the right hash to the 33. Oak Hill takes over there, trailing 34-6 to the Rebels, and it has been Leake offense, big play after big play tonight.
Yes, it has. It's one of them things where, nothing is working right for Oak Hill, but the offense for Leake is clicking. Just a couple of scores. Grenada is beating Center Hill 14-0. And West Point is beating Pontotoc early in the first quarter, 9-0.
Boy, West Point really good once again. Former West Point head coach Bubba Davis over there on the Oak Hill sideline as the handoff goes on first down for little to no gain. Reynolds couldn't find anything there. Caden Monk and Joey Saki put the clamps on him.
Excellent coverage. Once again, the defensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage. And if you could see these guys physically, they are bigger than our line. But our guys, they're using their strength and they're using their quickness, and they're not giving ground. They basically controlled it. They have the whole game.
Clock going under 7:50 to go in the Welch Forest Products second quarter, 2nd and 9. It's 9+, half a yard. Trips to the right. Holton in the shotgun. The junior takes the snap, going to keep it, looking for some opening on the left side, but the middle linebacker, Kobe Kemp, knifes through there and hits him on the hip, puts him down after a gain of about another half yard. We'll call it 3rd and 8.
This is about the 4th time I've watched Leake play this year, but my 2nd time in person. But one of the things I've always been impressed with their team is that they're not very big, but they're strong and they're fast, but they play together as a unit, which is, when you do that, you can beat almost anybody.
That's the thing Coach Pickens was telling me from back before week 1 ball game. He liked this unit. It's kind of one of those things where the total's greater than the sum of the parts, and that's guys playing their assignment, guys not trying to do too much. Here's 3rd and long, keeper for Holton. He's bouncing off defenders. He's going to be close to the first down. Looks like he's able to lunge forward to the 45 and pick it up.
Yes. And, that's twice in a row now, I think, basically the quarterback has run. And that may be something they have to basically change to get him into the game plan, because they've got to do something to get first downs for them, but also get their defense off the field, because even though they've only been in, 7, 8, 9 plays, they haven't stopped Leake at all.
Under 6.5 to play this week 7 ball game. Second quarter. Gardner, the single receiver, out to the right side of the formation. 2 tight ends out of the eye. They toss it to Cunningham. He'll bull his way up to the 48, maybe the 49, where he gets knocked down hard by about 3 Rebels. Gavin Gamillion.
I can tell you, when number 4 puts his head on his pillow tonight, he's probably going to have to take a couple of Advil, because he is going to have a headache, because he is getting popped every time he gets to that line of scrimmage.
Gain of 3. Reached the Oak Hill 49. Picked up a first down on this drive. Looking for more. One back in the backfield. Give it to him straight ahead, but the Rebels just plug it up, and that's Carter Pigg with a great read and the tackle.
It's like they know the assignments, and they're plugging the hose or standing the ground. It's just one of those things where, there's nowhere for number 4 or any of their running backs hardly to go. But I honestly believe this is 4 down. This will be 4 down territory for Oak Hill the rest of the game, in my opinion.
Hit the 5-minute mark, quarter number 2. Gardner will split out to the left. Fullback is Reynolds, the tailback Cunningham. Roll out Holton, the lefty throws it complete. Right at the sticks to Reynolds. Jack Johnston got him down, but it looks like he's going to get what he needs for the first down.
That's about the 5th time tonight they've ran that same play, and 3 out of the 5 they have been successful for first downs and the touchdown, which earlier.
They get in that 3rd and 5-7 yards. That's a really trusty play to run right there. They executed it well a couple of times. One time they had it wide open and ball was underthrown.
Yes.
But they got it to Reynolds that time, and they'll move the sticks. They're at the Rebel 43 on the left hash with 4.5 minutes to play in the second. From the eye, hard count. Rebels bring men up to the line of scrimmage, and now we've got a flag, and it's going to be illegal procedure against Oak Hill. Second penalty of the night against the Raiders.
Number 1, he made them. Kind of got a little fidgety.
Yep. Once you get your position there at the line of scrimmage, can't twitch and fidget. Official did a good job. He's walked up to Harris and explained to him, here's why I threw the flag. So it's a teaching moment. Good officials do that kind of thing.
Yeah. And you got to wonder sometimes, how much was that on the quarterback? Because I think they were attempting to change the play.
1st and 15 now. They'll move Harris up as a tight end on the left side and keep Gardner split out to the right. Hand it off to the first man through. That's Reynolds, and he'll get a yard if that. And give it Kobe Kemp another tackle. I have him unofficially with 6, being in on 6 tackles in the first half. Caden Monk, I have him being in on 5, and 4 for Joshua Gray.
Yeah, just once again, it's simple, hand off, find the hole, so to speak, and there was no hose there. No running space.
2nd and 14 plus. Rebels lead at 34-6 late second quarter. Fake the jet sweep, and Holton is stuck in the backfield. He's tackled back in his own territory. Joey Saki with a tackle for loss back at the 46. That's a loss of about 5-6 yards.
Yes. Similar plays. I'm sure they have lots of plays out of the similar formations that they've got. But once again, they're trying to get their quarterback engaged. And I thought it was a good play. But the defense made a better play. They were there.
And you wonder if maybe Holton didn't hold that ball in for just a half second longer than he needed to. But it's 3rd down and about 20. We've got to reach the 33 for the first down. Throw left side. Sliding to get it, Gardner. Did he catch it? The official nearby says yes, not sure, but they'll still be 12 yards short of the first down stick, so it's 4th down and 12, maybe even 13 at the 41.
Yep. From our angle, it looks like maybe kind of slid into his hand, but we don't have replay.
Holton over there on the far sideline getting some instruction. Oak Hill also has Tony Stanford, who was coach at Louisville back in the day. Of course, Louisville's been stellar program for a while. In fact, when we get to halftime or early third quarter, we're going to get to in-sports trivia tonight. I'm going to talk about Mississippi high school history with Hal Haddon a little bit. We'll see what Hal knows. We got a Lee Realty timeout with 2:03 to play in the second quarter. Leake in control, 34-6. We'll be back.
Navigate your way to Carthage Collision Center. Easy to find, right on Highway 16 in Carthage. Our professionals offer exceptional repair services, getting you back on the road in no time. Experience unparalleled customer service coupled with cutting-edge technology. Call us 601-267-4727.
Make a turn towards peace of mind with Carthage Collision Center, where quality meets reliability.
Hunting season is here, and Leake County Co-op has everything you need to get ready. From ammunition to deer attractants, premium deer feed, and the seed to plant your perfect food plot, they've got you covered. And cattlemen, don't forget, it's almost time to plant ryegrass and winter wheat for winter grazing. Lock in the best pricing by prepaying for your ryegrass seed before October 15th. So whether you're headed to the woods or the pasture, come see us at Leake County Co-op, where neighbors help neighbors.
Here's the 4th down play, 4th and 12. Holton to the air. Will Garner going up high, knocking the ball down, and then a late flag coming in. And I got to say, I think Garner deflected the pass and then collided with the receiver, but they're going to see it the other way.
Well, the referee that was in position was, oh, nice, they're throwing another one. I guess maybe unsportsmanlike, I don't know.
Yeah, it may have been something that was said. So pass interference against Leake.
Yep. I think I agree with you, Philip. The ball was tipped at the initial.
Yeah, I think it was tipped before the contact.
Yes, I do too.
But it was a bang-bang play, as they say in baseball. So they'll walk it from the 46 down to the 31. And that will give Oak Hill the first down.
And now they're going to walk.
Now they're going to, and an unsportsmanlike conduct against Leake.
Yep.
They should mark that from the 31 down to the 16, but it looks like they're going to be a little bit off on their ball placement. It looks like it's going to be the Raiders' advantage for about a yard. So they'll set it at the 15. So that those two penalties, one during the play, one after the play, will result in a 30-yard gain for Oak Hill. They're in the performance therapy red zone with 1:56 to play in the second.
I had a score just a few minutes ago. Kosciuszko, which I think maybe a few people around here like, is beating Louisville 14-0. 8 in the second quarter.
Okay. Whippets have not beaten Louisville since 2015. Keeper for Holton, and he's going nowhere. Great job again. Kobe Kemp, just a wrecking ball in the middle of that defense, and they'll lose half a yard.
Defense is plugging the hose, and they're not giving any ground. None whatsoever.
Second down and 10 plus. 95 seconds to play before halftime.
In the second quarter, it's all tied up between Starkville and Germantown.
So the Yellow Jackets coming back out of the I formation. They'll run a play fake, roll out Holton. He's trying to throw somewhere to somebody, and the nearest somebody was Joshua Gray of the Rebels in the end zone, and Holton got hit hard back there by Carter Pigg and Caden Monk, incomplete.
Lots of coverage. Everybody had, as you would say, a hat on somebody, and quarterback was running out of time.
And, hey, folks, down below us, below the grandstands below us, the homecoming maids and their escorts are lining up. We're going to take you to it as soon as it gets started, and you'll see every second of it. See the presentation of the homecoming court and the crowning of the homecoming queen at the Carthage Veterinary Clinic. Halftime. Third down and 11 from the 16. From the shotgun. Throwing toward the end zone. Pass tipped away at the last second. Incomplete. Brennan Evans making a big play on defense.
Excellent. Once again, in position to make the play. And our defensive backs have done a great job of covering. And number 0 for them, which is Shantaz Harris, he's a kind of a tall young man. So it's kind of interesting, but he's got a coverage. They're there. Excuse me, that was number 1 that time, which was Shantaz Harris, not 0. And it was excellent coverage.
Lee Realty timeout. Oak Hill spends their final timeout of the first half with 1:07 to play. We'll remind you that next week we'll be on the road at Riverfield for the open of district play in MAIS 3A ball. And then 2 weeks from tonight, back on the road for a game that's got a lot of people interested around the state. The Rebels will visit Tri-County, two-time defending 4A champions. And of course, we're in the same district with Tri-County now. So that should be fun from Flora 2 weeks from tonight. And then back for Week 10, final regular season game against Central Hines. Glad to have you with us. Billy Steen is our studio producer, getting us on the air on Cruising 98.3. Tonight's broadcast powered by Central Electric Power Association. We've got Mason Middleton between us on the camera, Hal Haddon, Philip Palmertree. Rolling to the left on 4th down. Holton looking back toward the middle of the field, throws it complete to Gardner. He's got it at the 10, but he gets his feet clipped out from under him. Close. Well, they'll say he got enough for the first down. I thought it was going to be very close. They'll say he got to the 5, maybe even a step inside, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Raiders.
Yes. Wasn't sure if he was going to make the first down or not.
34-6, second quarter. Clock starts moving again, under 50 seconds. Raiders can't stop it, and they'll clock it on 1st and goal. Our scoreboard updates Hal's given us, those are all presented by Wilcox Funeral Home.
Just saw another score a minute ago. Germantown is taking a 10-7 lead over Starkville. I'm not real certain who Tupelo is playing tonight, but they're winning 29-0 in the second quarter. West Point's winning 23-8.
West Point played Pontotoc tonight.
23-6.
Here's 2nd and goal. From inside the 5. Holton rolling out to the wide side of the field left, throwing back across his body, and the ball's bobbled and dropped in the end zone. One official said touchdown because it sure looked for a second like Chance Harris had it in his hands, but he dropped it, and the official at the back of the end zone saw it incomplete. That's a 6-point play that just went through their hands.
So far, they started on their own 33-yard line, and this has been a 17-play drive so far.
They would consider it some wind in their sails to get a score here in the final 39 seconds. It's 3rd down and goal. Right between the 4 and the 5. They want to put it in the air once again. Roll out. Holton, throw it to the back of the end zone. Too tall for Harris. Incomplete. The official at the goal line who called it touchdown a minute ago called it touchdown there, but nobody even got their hand on the ball. I don't know what he was looking at, but it was incomplete. All the other officials waved it off incomplete.
Well,
the ball went back to the fence.
I'm not real certain what he was looking at as well, but, it's.
So you learn when you do this, when it's a hard angle and it's far away, you got to let the men in stripes help you.
Yes.
But it's 4th down now, and it looks like Leake wants to use a timeout, Lee Realty timeout with 33 seconds to play.
Yeah. This is probably, I know they've scored 1 touchdown, but this has been a very impressive drive for them. Of course, I understand that the drive was sustained by 2 interesting 15-yard penalties earlier, just a few minutes ago. They gave them 30 yards of yardage, so to speak, and a first down, actually 2. But they've got their quarterback in play differently now. And I would think for the Leake Academy coaches, they can see this at halftime, knowing that they're not having any success running against Leake Academy, so they're throwing, and that's where they're getting their success to number 1 and to number 6.
And of course, the Rebels have been lending a helping hand to the Raiders on this drive. 30 yards of penalties along the way, and they've converted a 3rd down and a 4th down along the way. 3 receivers in the formation, 4th down and goal from the 4. Holton looks left, throws right, and off the hands of a receiver, incomplete. They wanted Connor Stokes. Senior had to go to the ground to try to get it in the back of the end zone, but could not get both hands on it. Ball will go over to the Rebels on downs with 28 seconds to go in the second quarter. Leake 34 and Oak Hill 6.
It will be very interesting to see what Leake Academy does here with 28 seconds to go at their own 4.
I think you'll see them hand it to number 19, who's, he carried it twice for 143 yards tonight? Why not go for 96 right here? Against a 3-man front, shotgun set. Wilcox setting up to throw out of his own end zone. Throws to Gage Warren, complete at the 15, and he'll tiptoe out of bounds after picking up 2 or 3 more to the 18-yard line. A Central Mississippi Animal Clinic first down.
I don't think Leake is finished in their mind of wanting to score this half.
If you get a touchdown here, you set the game into running clock mode. So that may be what Coach Pickens has in mind here. 22 seconds to go. Leake has 1 timeout. 2-by-2, receiver set. Wilcox with a good pocket around him. Gonna heave it, throw it deep left side, looking for Warren. A lot of pushing and shoving down there. And Yellow Hankies stay in the pocket. So the officials, and that's unbelievable.
No, they called it about
the
30.
Oh, they did. Okay. Oh, yeah, I see. Back at the Leake 40-yard line, what we saw was happening at about the 45 or the 40 in Raider territory, but officials had already seen and flagged some holding or pass interference. Defensive holding the call. 15 seconds to play. Walk it up 10 yards. Central Mississippi Animal Clinic first down. The 28.
But it was interesting. I don't know that they were going to call that unless Coach Pickens got out on the field and basically threatened to eat his hat.
That's why it's great to run those patterns on the near sideline where your guys are.
Yes.
You're not going to get any assistance on the other side as far as pleading with the officials goes. 1st and 10, L.A. from their own 28, moving right to left with 15 seconds to go in the half. 3-man rush. All the time in the world for Wilcox. Throws left side looking for Riles Wilkerson, and it's overthrown, and is it caught for an interception at the 40?
They're saying incomplete. I couldn't
It was
tell.
a very athletic play by Connor Stokes for Oak Hill, and he's not going to get rewarded with the INT, but boy, he came close.
It was close. Well, I say close. I really wasn't watching it. I knew that I didn't see a blue jersey in that area when the ball was coming down.
Incomplete, yeah. He went full slide mode into it. Probably the final play of the half from the 28. 3-man rush. They'll throw it underneath to Adcock. Has a wall of blockers in front of him. 40 to midfield. Breaks through a tackle. 45, and then gets upended by Stokes at the 40. Rebels get a nice gain of 32 yards on the final play of the first half, but the clock's at 0.
Yep.
We're at halftime. Rebels 34, Oak Hill 6. We'll take a break and come back with the start of the presentation of the 2025 Homecoming Court and the crowning of the Homecoming Queen. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us as Leake Academy football continues from Boswell Media Sports.
Build your barn with Ozark Ag from the ground up. Expanding your poultry operation is simple and fast when you turn to the poultry pros that you'll find at Ozark Ag. They're your go-to partner for poultry barn construction. So let's check that checklist, shall we? Full service design and build? Check. Equipment installation? Check, check. And service that lasts long after the barn is finished? Check, check, check. And by the way, this just in? Check. Build strong together. Call or go by to get started. Ozark Ag, Highway 16, Carthage.
My knee rehab was 100% successful thanks to Performance Therapy. They sat down with me and created a plan to ensure I would achieve my personal rehabilitation goals, and they encouraged me to get the most out of every session. Performance Therapy provided plenty of material for me to continue my rehab in between sessions too. Hopefully I don't have to see them in the future, but if I did, I would definitely choose Performance Therapy again.
For more information, go to performancetherapyms.com. Performance Therapy, Carthage, Philadelphia, and Forest.
Did you know most people overpay by up to 50% for individual health insurance? David Barham Insurance will save you that. Plus, David has the best rates on the market for Medicare supplements. The solution is not on the internet or far away. It's right here in Carthage. David Barham, a local insurance agent you can trust. Make sure you have the best coverage and price. Call David Barham, 601-941-1280. on the north side of the square in Carthage.
Walk into the shimmering world of Crossgates Jewelers and Pearl, where every piece of fine jewelry will tell a story and represent the memories of your life. Their GIA graduate gemologist will show you their exquisite collection of engagement rings and bridal sets, answering any questions you may have when choosing the perfect diamond and setting. Their expert in-house repairs ensures your cherished items are in the best hands. Crossgate Jewelers, located at the corner of Cross Park and Highway 80 in Pearl. You are unique, and your jewelry should be too.
Guess what, people?
When memories matter most, trust Wilcox Funeral Home to honor your loved one's legacy with compassion and dignity. Our caring team walks with you every step of the way, providing comfort and support during life's most difficult moments. From personalized services to attentive planning, Wilcox Funeral Home is your partner in remembrance and healing. Celebrate a life well lived, because every story deserves to be told, cherished, and never forgotten. Wilcox Funeral Home, our family, serving your family for 90 years now. Jordan Street, Carthage.
Baptist League Rural Health Clinics have a variety of healthcare options with primary care, pediatrics, and women's health, providing care at 3 locations in Carthage, Walnut Grove, and Madden. Call 601-267-1470 today to schedule your appointment. Extended hours and Saturdays are available at our primary care clinic located in Carthage. Baptist League, making your health care our #1 priority.
Welcome to the Carthage Vet Clinic halftime. Our score, Leake 34, Oak Hill 6. And now we'll turn the mics toward the field. The cameras there on the Triple M Motors video stream. A link available at Boswell Media, at the Boswell Media Sports, link is available at kicks96news.com. That takes you to the Boswell Media Sports YouTube channel, where you're hopefully enjoying our video stream. And when you're there, please hit the subscribe box so you can get notified every time we go on the air with Leake Academy football and then basketball season as well. But our Carthage Veterinary Clinic halftime tonight features the presentation of the 2025 Leake Academy Homecoming Court and the crowning of the Homecoming Queen. It looks like everybody's getting in place, and we'll try to get our mics in the right place and turned up so you can hear it and enjoy it all. The Carthage Veterinary Clinic halftime.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Leake Academy, I would like to thank or welcome you to the 2025 Homecoming Ceremony. Now to meet our maids, starting with the freshman class. Our first maid of the evening is Miss Tatum McDonald. She is the 15-year-old daughter of Jonathan and Robin McDonald of Good Hope. Tatum is a member of Trinity Baptist Church in Carthage. At Leake Academy, she is a member of the Beta Club, Junior High Cheer Squad, and Lady Rebels softball team. Tatum also serves as manager for the Junior High Lady Rebels basketball team. Her hobbies include hanging out with her family and friends, as well as shopping. Tatum's future plans are to attend Mississippi State University. Tatum is being escorted tonight by her father, Jonathan McDonald. Also representing the freshman class is Miss Mary Lawrence Vowell. She is the 14-year-old daughter of Craig and Melanie Vowell of Philadelphia. Mary Lawrence is a member of First Methodist Church of Philadelphia, where she is active in her youth group. At Leake Academy, she serves as captain of the Junior High Cheer Squad. Is also a member of the Beta Club. In addition, Mary Lawrence is a manager for the Junior High girls basketball team. Her hobbies include traveling, spending quality time with her family and friends. Mary Lawrence plans to attend University of Mississippi to pursue a degree in forensic psychology. Mary Lawrence is escorted by her father, Craig Vowell. class. First, Miss Emma Breelove. She is the 16-year-old daughter of Daniel and Melissa Trussell of Carthage. Emma is a member of First Baptist Church of Carthage, where she participates in youth activities and continues to grow in her faith and friendships. At Leake Academy, she is a member of the Beta Club. In her free time, Emma enjoys baking sweet treats and spending quality time with her family and friends. After graduation, Emma plans to attend a junior college and then transfer to Mississippi State University to pursue a degree in business. Tonight, Emma is proudly escorted by her stepfather, Daniel Trussell. Also representing the sophomore class is Miss Georgia Mitchner. Georgia is the 15-year-old daughter of Justin Mitchner and Jenna Holloman. Georgia is a member of Pleasant Hill Baptist Church, where she is an active member in her youth groups. At Leake Academy, she is a member of the cheer team for 4 years, earning All-American awards her freshman and sophomore years. She has also received the Super Spirit and Dancing Diva awards. Georgia has also been involved in Beta Club, where she competed in speech division and was invited to nationals this summer in Orlando, Florida. She has served as chaplain, president, and vice president of the student council. Georgia was also selected in the Who's Who as the eagerest 8th grader and sweetest her freshman year. Georgia's hobbies include shopping, hanging out with her friends and family, and attending Mississippi State football games. She plans to pursue a degree in occupational therapy. Georgia is escorted by her father, Justin Mitchner. And now for the junior class. Representing the junior class is Miss Macy Stuckey. Macy is the 16-year-old daughter of Matt and Cindy Stuckey of Edinburgh. Macy is a member of New Bethel Baptist Church in Philadelphia. At Leake Academy, Macy is an honor roll student and a member of the Beta Club, where she has competed and won numerous awards. She is also a varsity cheerleader, was named an All-American cheerleader at UCA camp. Macy also represented her class in the MAIS spelling bee for 5 years and has served as Mrs. Strain's student assistant for the past 2 years. Her hobbies include cheering, spending time with her friends, and completing the Bible in a year reading plan. Macy plans to earn a degree in stenography to become a pediatric stenographer. Ladies and gentlemen, Macy is being escorted by her father, Matt Stuckey. Also representing the junior class, Miss Mamie Thompson. She is the 17-year-old daughter of Chad and Alicia Thompson of Kosciuszko. Mamie is a member of First Baptist Church of Kosciuszko. Leake Academy, she is a varsity cheerleader and has been named an All-American cheerleader. Mamie is a headmaster's student and a member of Mu Alpha Theta Math Honor Society, Beta Club, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and serves on the Rebel E yearbook staff. Mamie was voted best friend in Who's Who's her freshman year and was selected a beauty her sophomore year. Mamie's hobbies include hunting with her dad, traveling, shopping, spending time with her family and friends, and cheering on the Rebels on Friday nights. After graduation, Mamie plans to attend Holmes Community College and then the University of Mississippi Medical Center to pursue a degree in nursing. Mamie is escorted by her father, Chad Thompson. And now our senior class. Our first senior maid is Miss Addie Lee Crow. She is the 17-year-old daughter of Jonathan and Laura Crow of Carthage. Addie attends First Baptist Church of Carthage. At Leake Academy, she is a member of the Beta Club, Mu Alpha Theta Math Honor Society, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. She's been a member of the Lady Rebel basketball team since 7th grade. As a Lady Rebel, she was selected to be a member of the MAIS Futures basketball team and was chosen impact player her junior year. Addie has volunteered with Horses for Handicap, Mississippi Therapy Animals, Operation Christmas Child, and Shower Power. She has received a citizenship and courtesy awards and has been on the headmaster's list since 7th grade. She has also served on the homecoming court her freshman year and was voted best shoulder to cry on her junior year. Addie's hobbies include shopping, tanning, going to gym, baking, and spending time with family and friends. She plans to attend Mississippi State University to pursue a degree in educational psychology, followed by a degree in speech pathology. Addie is being escorted tonight by her father, Jonathan Crow. Our next senior maid is Miss Liza Kate Long. She is the daughter of Beth Long and the late Jackie Long of Philadelphia. Liza Kate is a member of First Methodist Church of Philadelphia. At Leake Academy, she is a member of the Lady Rebels basketball team and the tennis team, where she plays girls doubles. Liza Kate is a headmaster's list student and a member of the Beta Club, Student Council, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and Renewed Rebels. She also serves as president of Mu Alpha Theta Math Honor Society. Liza Kate also participated in the Leadership Neshoba and in the Distinguished Young Woman Program, where she received the Scholastic Award, Spirit Award, and Second Alternate. Liza Kate is alumni of the 43rd Mississippi Governor's School Cohort and also serves as editor of the Reveille Yearbook. Her hobbies include traveling, attending concerts, and spending time with family and friends. She plans to attend University of Mississippi to pursue a degree in public policy, followed by law school. Liza Kate is being escorted tonight by her brother-in-law, Blake Pickering. And our third senior maid tonight is Miss Annie Kate White. She is the 18-year-old daughter of William and Lee Ann White of Philadelphia. Annie Kate is a member of First Methodist Church of Philadelphia. At Leake Academy, she is a varsity cheerleader and was named a 2025 MAIS All-Star Cheerleader and All-American Cheerleader. She also had the privilege of cheering for the 2023 and 2024 MAIS Small Game Day Championship teams. Annie Kate is a member of the Beta Club, Leake Academy Annual Staff, Renewed Rebels, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and the National Cutting Horse Association. She currently serves as the Leake Academy Student Body President, Vice President of the National Youth Cutting Horse Association, and is a member of the Mississippi Secretary of State Ambassador Program. Annie Kate was voted a 9th grade beauty, and during her sophomore year, she was chosen most beautiful and served on the homecoming court. Her hobbies include gymnastics, horseback riding, working out, and spending time with family and friends, cheering for the Rebels on Friday nights. After graduation, Annie Kate plans to attend Mississippi State University to major in agriculture and health science, with aspirations of pursuing a career in veterinary medicine. Annie Kate is being escorted tonight by her father, William White. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2025 Leake Academy Homecoming Queen is Miss Liza Kate Long. Crowning this year's queen are Leake Academy students Mary Mosley and Jackson Pickering. All right, ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for the 2025 Homecoming Queen?
Navigate your way to Carthage Collision Center. Easy to find right on Highway 16 in Carthage. Our professionals offer exceptional repair services, getting you back on the road in no time. Experience unparalleled customer service coupled with cutting-edge technology. Call us 601-267-4727.
Make a turn towards peace of mind with Carthage Collision Center, where quality meets reliability.
When memories matter most, trust Wilcox Funeral Home to honor your loved one's legacy with compassion and dignity. Our caring team walks with you every step of the way, providing comfort and support during life's most difficult moments. From personalized services to attentive planning, Wilcox Funeral Home is your partner in remembrance and healing. Celebrate a life well lived, because every story deserves to be told, cherished, and never forgotten. Wilcox Funeral Home. Our family, serving your family for 90 years.
Sunrise over Neshoba County signals another hard-working day, and locals know just where to get the job done right. Neshoba County Co-op serves our community, supporting farmers, gardeners, and home growers with trusted supplies and friendly advice. From feed and seed to hardware and clothing, every aisle is filled with the essentials you use to make your living. Rooted in Mississippi traditions, the Neshoba County Co-op is proud to help your work flourish. Every season, every reason. Neshoba County Co-op, Philadelphia.
Roll into Junction Deli, where nourishment meets journey. On the menu, delectable breakfast, lunch, and supper. Whether you're in Philadelphia, Newton, Union, Carthage, Louisville, Oxford, or Scuba, we're the local pit stop that blends the allure of delicious food with the convenience of a fuel station. Remember, when your stomach grumbles or your tank covers on empty, we're just around the corner. Download the Junction app for ordering convenience and look for the new car wash in Louisville next to Walmart.
Boswell Media Sports.
Dr. Brooke Bobo and his staff at Carthage Veterinary Clinic wish you and your animals the very best. They treat all animals, large or small, with the care you would want for a member of your family. Carthage Veterinary Clinic provide for your sick or injured animals and also offer grooming and boarding as well. Located on Highway 16, Carthage Veterinary Clinic is open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 7:30 until 5:30, and Wednesday and Saturday from 7:30 till noon.
When it comes to finding the perfect home, experience matters. Lee Realty is connecting buyers with quality new construction homes tailored to their needs. Hey, it's Stacey O'Neill with Lee Realty. Whether you're starting fresh or upgrading, our team will guide you every step of the way, making the process simple, smooth, and stress-free. Ready to get started? Give us a call today.
We don't want everyone's business, just yours. Lee Realty, 206 West Beacon Street, Philadelphia, 601-562-7123.
Boswell Media Sports.
And a special Carthage Veterinary Clinic halftime from Thagard Field in Madden. Hope you enjoyed special coverage of the presentation of the homecoming court. Hey, let's give a helmet sticker to Mason Middleton. I think he did a great job showing you what you wanted to see with the homecoming maids and the presentation of the Queens. A great job by our camera operator Mason Middleton. I'm Philip Palmertree. Hal Haddon's with me in the booth. Billy Steen is in the Boswell Media Sports Studios. And we're at 34-6 at the half. Leake Academy in control of this one. They've been in running clock games on the good side for each of the last 4 weeks. Actually, we're on the bad side of the one the week before that. But we're about one score away from Leake. If Leake takes the opening kickoff and can score in this third quarter, we would be in running clock. But in this first half, Rebels unofficially 320 yards in total offense, and it got started at the 8:56 mark of the first quarter with an 80-yard touchdown run up the right side by junior running back Garrett Adcock. Easton Page kicked the extra point, made it 7-0. That was a two-play, 86-yard drive. Then Oak Hill answered, went down the field 5 minutes, went 9 plays, 35 yards. After a good kickoff return, DJ Gardner hauled in a pass from Jackson Holton. Extra point was missed. It was 7-6 Leake, but Leake scored 17 seconds later on a 63-yard run by Garrett Adcock. Then about less than a minute later, the Rebels got the ball back after a fumble. went 2 plays, 26 yards, a 13-yard pass from George Wilcox to Easton Page in the right corner of the end zone, made it 21-6 after the extra point. Leake added 2 more touchdowns in the third quarter, an 89-yard pass up the middle of the field from Wilcox to Page, a 1-play drive. Page booted the extra point 28-6 at that point, then 34-6 after a 4-play 35-yard drive that the Rebels, the defense got good field position for the offense on downs, 12 yards from QB1 to number 6 Easton Page. 34-6 our score. And Hal, Oak Hill's moved the ball some, but just can't, other than that one drive they had with a short field, they haven't been able to convert, and the Rebel defense has just given them fits at times with the running game.
Definitely. You know, the Rebel defensive line and linebackers, actually the DBs too, have played a very stout game. You know, the defensive line for both sides, I mean, the defensive line and the offensive line for Leake Academy has been very dominant tonight. They control the line of scrimmage. That's where you win ball games at any level, high school, college, or pro. And they've done that. So they're up 34-6. You know, I was sitting here thinking, it's been a long time that I can remember where somebody is winning, let's say 34-35-6 at halftime. The stats is 323 something to probably about 100 yards. And you would think maybe Leake maybe 20, 25 plays. But all this is on about 10 or 11, 12 plays. It's just incredible.
That's incredible. It's the yards per play average, which we have not calculated. But, boy, the Rebels have hit big plays tonight. And, you know, whatever term – people like to use the term explosive plays, chunk plays. Well, yeah, use whatever terminology you want. The Rebels have been moving the ball up and down the field almost at will in this first half.
Yes.
About to start the third quarter. Third quarter is presented by Westside Body Shop. And we'll remind Rebel fans that Premier Medical of Carthage clinics open 7:30 to 4:30 Monday through Friday, and they're the official wellness sponsor of Rebel Athletics. Got some scores.
Yeah.
And those are courtesy of Wilcox Funeral Home.
Halftime, it's Kosciuszko 14, Louisville 8, Houston 6, Shannon nothing. Magnolia Heights 21, Starkville Academy 7. Raleigh 24, Forest 12. Grenada 21-0 over Center Hill. Germantown is leading Starkville 17-14 at the half. Yep. And Choctaw County is leading Aberdeen 28-8.
All right, that's just in time for the whistle to start the third quarter. Oak Hill kicking it off left to right. Sky kick over to the 25. Will Garner hauls it in up the left hash toward the middle of the field. Breaks a tackle 35. Gets spilled at the 41. Good job finding a crease there by Will Garner, who doesn't return a lot of kicks. Leaks in good field position at the 41 as we open the third quarter. Rebels 34, Oak Hill 6.
Ball spotted just past the 40, close to the 41-yard line first.
You know, your game plan going forward really can't change because what you did in the first half, you executed very well.
Just keep executing. Warren and Paloka split to the left. Wilkerson and Page to the right. 3-man front, 2 linebackers creep in for the Raiders. Now they back them out. Bring another linebacker up, trying to confuse George Wilcox a little bit. And they'll rush 6, 7. He'll get rid of it quickly at the 45 to Warren. Breaks a tackle 50 up the left sideline 30. And then taken off his sticks at the 27-yard line. And Leake with a great gain of 33 yards on the 33 yards on the first play.
You know, that play was set up. They got to the line of scrimmage and saw what the defense was giving them. And they basically put about 8 in the box, and therefore George was able to. We're going to throw this thing.
Put 3 wide receivers out to the right, the wide side of the field. Safeties come down. Hand off Adcock. He's got room to run up the middle left hash. He will go in, and nobody will lay a hand on Garrett Adcock. His third touchdown run of the night. That one from 27 yards out. It's 40-6 with the extra point coming. Rebel touchdowns presented by Weaver Tax and Accounting.
2 plays, 59 yards.
Easton Page was 4 out of 5, kicking extra points in the first half, filling in for injured Caden Stovall. Walsworth ready to snap it. Johnston ready to hold it. Here's the kick. Very high, up and through the uprights. 41-6 Rebels with 11:20 to go third quarter. We'll return with the kickoff as Leake Academy football continues.
Dr. Ryan Anderson and his crew at Central Mississippi Animal Clinic love getting to know you and your pets. In addition to your pet's health care, they offer boarding that will be your fur baby's home away from home. Become a member of the Central Mississippi Animal Clinic family today. Download the Central Mississippi Animal Clinic app or go to centralmississippianimalclinic.com. Central Mississippi Animal Clinic, Highway 35, Carthage.
Baptist League Rural Health Clinics have a variety of healthcare options with primary care, pediatrics, and women's health. Providing care at 3 locations in Carthage, Walnut Grove, and Madden. Call 601-267-1470 today to schedule your appointment. Extended hours and Saturdays are available at our primary care clinic located in Carthage. Baptist League, making your health care our #1 priority.
Boswell Media Sports.
Keith Saki, a line drive kick taken by Harris at the 17. He moves right to left. Rebels will get him going sideways and then backwards. Caden Monk, John David Gill, and 16 Kobe Kemp making the tackle. You were talking, Hal, about how that touchdown run by Garrett Adcock was set up by the previous play.
Exactly. You know, George got up to the line of scrimmage. He saw what was going on. He checked his plays over basically to a throw-in because they had 8 in the box. So they landed up the same formation, and this time they spread the line out, and they moved their safeties over to the corner. That just left the middle wide open.
Leak 41, Oak Hill 6. We are in running clock mode now since that touchdown was scored. Handoff, ball's fumbled. Ball still loose. Rebels trying to get it. Looks like the Rebels have it at the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. No, they're going to say Oak Hill got it.
No. They had it. They had a chance.
Alan Olivo and Caden Monk had it down there on the ground below them, but they just couldn't hop on it in time, and it's no gain on the play. Credit Austin Swinney with the tackle.
They had a chance. There was a couple of Rebels close by, but they just couldn't get there quick enough. And they still gained a yard out of that.
Second down and 9. Maybe even 9.5.
Yeah, maybe.
Braden Welch was injured in the first half. He has not returned. He's been on the sideline leaning on a crutch. Handoff. Tough sledding for Boston Cunningham. He got a yard, maybe 2, past the 25 up to the 26, maybe 27-yard line. It'll be third down and 8. The Rebels stack that one up middle of the line again. Olivo, Swinney, Saki, and Monk, the front 4, playing well tonight. And also, Talon Dillard has played well on the D-line. I formation. They're going to try to roll out the quarterback, but there's a sack by Jack Johnston. Rebel sacks presented by David Barham Insurance back at the 28. First sack of the night, and it brings up 4th and very long.
Yeah, they're recognizing formations, and they're basically gambled that was going to be their rollout, fake it and roll out to his left, and it's
Johnston blitzed off the edge. Yeah. Nobody picked him up.
Nope, he was uncovered.
Cunningham getting ready to punt it away from inside, or from about the 10-yard line. There's the lineup in that stacked I that they shift out of. And that's what they do here. Clock at 7:07, 7:06. Snap is back. Good-looking kick and a hang in the air. No Rebels back to receive. It'll bounce into L.A. territory inside the 35 and roll dead at the 33. So Leake takes over after forcing a punt. They lead it mid part of the third quarter, 41-6.
I would think you might start seeing a few fresh jerseys at this point.
Looks like Riles Wilkerson's going to lead the offense, I think. I'm looking for George Wilcox on the sideline, see if he stays in or he's on the sideline. I haven't spotted him yet.
I haven't either. He's there.
Yeah, he's usually pretty easy to find, number 1 out there. Oh, there he is. He's on the bench, so he's not going out there. Riles Wilkerson, the sophomore, will lead the offense, as he did second half last week against Canton. And the Rebels, looks like they're going to use a timeout, or do we have a clock problem? The clock's ticking down under 10. Coach Pickens standing next to one of the officials. Looks like the Rebels are getting ready to send Quentin Harris in on the offensive line, along with Talon Dillard. And let's see who else is out there. 75, John Brady Pickens. And they're still deciding who's in and who's out. We have a Lee Realty timeout. Does stop the clock with 5:45 to play in the Westside Body Shop third quarter.
You know, it's interesting. You know, this is the first time I've been exposed to a running clock. And, you know, it was interesting at the start of once Leake scored that last touchdown and they lined up to do their kickoff, this is before the play clock started. They started the scoreboard clock, which I thought to do this you would sync them up, but I guess that doesn't happen. I don't know. But I understand the need for it. This game is over with. And I don't mean to be ugly. It's just 41-6, and you know you don't want to take any chances of anybody getting hurt at this point. Just play your plays clean, soundly, and just enjoy what's left of it.
Quint Boykin, Jackson Hatton, Haverson Middleton, and 14 Henley Jenkins are the 4 wide receivers. John David Gill, the running back. Gill gets the carry, and he gets met at the 30-yard line and shoved back. A loss of 3 on first down. 76, Trey Andrews, the junior defensive lineman, really blew through the man blocking him.
I think their starting defensive line is still on the field.
Luke Jones, a freshman's also in there on the O-line for Leake. So it looks like it's Dillard, Harris, Pickens, Jones, and I'll see who the 5th is. Jones at center, and then 52, Lane Stewart. A 4 wide out set. They'll run that read option again. This time Wilkerson's going to keep it, but he's got white shirts in front of him, trying to improvise, get to the outside. Giving chase, breaks a tackle. He'll get positive yardage, get maybe past the original line of scrimmage up to the 34, and he did well to do that.
He ran all over the field because he was running for his life because there was Oak Hill defenders everywhere. You know, they're just crashing down. You know, they're pinning their ears back and just going.
Braylon Ellis, freshman, checks in on the O-line for L.A., replacing 62, Talon Dillard. So 3rd and 9, a gain of 4 on the play, but, boy, he had to run about 50 yards to get that 4.
And it was very quick. I mean, he was very quick. He actually got around the corner, just that there was somebody else over in that end.
Riles Wilkerson's open field speed is just about unrivaled on this roster. Whistles at the snap of the ball. See what the call is. Could be delay of game. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Rebels slow to get things underway, and 3rd and 9 becomes 3rd and 14 as we go into 3:46 to play on the third quarter clock. Rebels 41, Oak Hill 6.
It's an excellent opportunity for young men to get better, practice.
Yeah. Coach and I were talking about that in the pregame interview, and this is something that, you certainly can't count on in your game prep, but it's just a great bonus because it means your team executed well in the first half, and then these guys get real-life, full-speed reps. The game, Wilkerson's going to fake the handoff, keep it, step through the line, 35, try to break one more tackle and get the first down, but he's grabbed and dragged down from behind by Kyle Scott at the 40-yard line. It'll be 4th and 4.
Yes, a lot of great movements. It's a lot of jive. One of the things too is it, like you just said, because of what they did in the first half, a lot of positive things. These young men practice every day in the fall, summer, spring, and a lot of these guys, if the game, they may not get into a game. So this is really an accomplishment for them, achievement, and they get to play.
5th straight game, this second team has taken the majority of second half snaps. Hard count, 4th and 4, 2-1, and Coach Pickens calls timeout ahead of the penalty. It'll be a Lee Realty timeout that we'll take with him with 2:17 to go, and the Rebels in front 41-6.
West Side Body Shop says, let's face it, stuff happens. And when it does, they can take care of damage as small as a chip in your windshield all the way up to full collision services. Insurance claims are always welcome too. Just be sure your first stop is West Side Body Shop in Philadelphia. They also specialize in truck accessories, including toolboxes, visors, Nerf bars, and wenches. They make your ride look cool. West Side Body Shop, just off Beacon Street on Waterview Lane, right behind the Huddle House in Philadelphia.
Moore's Pharmacy in Carthage, Sebastopol, and Walnut Grove appreciate you, their customers. We have a beautiful selection of gifts with free gift wrapping. We are one of the only pharmacies around to offer compounding and women's hormone replacement therapy. Moore's Pharmacy accepts all insurance, including Medicaid. Our 2-lane drive-through and prescription synchronization.
The punt on 4th down by Jack Johnston, blocked and recovered right at the point of the kick at the 30-yard line. And having the second-string punter back there because of injury created an opportunity there for Oak Hill to just come rushing, bull rush right up the middle, and they got to the ball before it could be kicked away.
Not much you can say. They basically took a chance and put more people in the zone. One of the things I wanted to give you a quick score that may have an interest in this part of the world is that at the end of the third quarter, Heritage is beating Pillow Academy 21-0.
From the 30-yard line in L.A. territory, run up the middle on first down. 2, maybe 3 hard yards for Simon Reynolds. Carter Pigg and Caden Monk combined on the stop.
I think the first team defense is still on the field, isn't it?
Mostly, yes. In fact, everybody, first team's out there right now. So this may be their last series and face a situation where their backs are up against the wall a little bit. 1 minute to go in the third quarter as the clock continuously runs. From under center. Keeper fake. A nice job by the quarterback Holton to duck up the middle and get down to the 21. Pick up about 6 yards.
Nice option type play. He basically, he handed up. He's going to hand it off to his running back, and the hole was plugged up, so he just kept it and snuck up the middle to the left side for about 7 or 8 yards.
Third and a yard and a half, under 26 seconds to play. They'll get probably this snap off, and this will probably be it for the third quarter. They'll line up in the I formation, receiver to each side. Holton hands it off to the fullback. Looked like he had trouble holding on to it, but may have grabbed it in, and he's going to be about a yard past the line to gain for a first down, and that'll draw the third quarter to a close. Leake 41, Oak Hill 6 will return as Leake Academy football continues from Boswell Media Sports.
Woodstock Furniture in Philadelphia says, let's go Rebels. Woodstock Furniture has a game plan to score big-time savings for our Rebel faithful all season long. Family-owned and operated, Woodstock Furniture at 70 Canal Place in Philadelphia behind McAllister's has a winning tradition with their low price guarantee on furniture for every room in the house. Plus, if you buy it today, you get it today. Woodstock Furniture at 70 Canal Place in Philadelphia loves the Rebels like the Rebels love to win.
Sunrise over Neshoba County signals another hard-working day, and locals know just where to get the job done right. Neshoba County Co-op serves our community, supporting farmers, gardeners, and home growers with trusted supplies and friendly advice. From feed and seed to hardware and clothing, every aisle is filled with the essentials you use to make your living. Rooted in Mississippi traditions, the Neshoba County Co-op is proud to help your work flourish. Every season, every reason. Neshoba County Co-op, Philadelphia.
Boswell Media Sports.
Philip Palmertree and Hal Haddon bringing you Leake Academy football from Thagard Field. Leake looking to move to 6-1 on the season. Clock begins to move. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. They're in the performance therapy red zone. Handoff goes down to the 16. That was Cunningham on the carry. He gets about 3 on first down.
There are a lot of new jerseys out there for Leake Academy.
Gavin Gamillion, one of them, making the tackle.
But they have some of the starters.
We'll probably start to see some other guys shuttle in and out. But I think defensive coordinator Josh Ray wants this group to – I think he's got some things he wants them to work on in early part of the fourth quarter. He's standing about the 37-yard line with his hands in his pockets, looking in at him. Shotgun set this time for the Raiders. Keeper for Holton, and Keith Saki hits him hard as he gets maybe 1 or 2 down to the 15.
They were ready for that read option that time. It was just one of them things where, Joey shot Saki. He was there. He did his assignment.
That's right. Well. He played his key, got the assignment. Kept, and that's the thing we were saying. This group plays their assignments. You don't see guys out of position trying to do too much, and that makes for good team defense. Under 10.5 to play fourth quarter. Rebels 41, Oak Hill 6. Oak Hill trying to score fourth quarter TD. Put 2 wide receivers out to the left, nobody to the right. Roll out Holton to the left. Throw it into the end zone, but too deep, intended for Gardner, and the Rebels had good coverage with both Garner and Gray at the goal line.
Yes, he did. Kobe Kemp, he was the one applying the pressure. They've done that a lot tonight. And number 10, Jackson Holton, he's also going to feel it a little bit tonight because he probably hasn't been hit this hard all season. Probably.
4th down and 6. Line of scrimmage, the 15. Raiders need to get to the 9 to keep the drive going. Fourth quarter is presented by the Neshoba County Co-op. Little backside give to Gardner, and he's got a lane to run into the end zone untouched for an Oak Hill touchdown with 9:18 to play.
About 15 yards.
Number 6, DJ Gardner, with the Raider touchdown.
15-yard run makes it 41-12. Second touchdown tonight for DJ Gardner. He caught one in the first quarter.
Yep.
And now he has a rushing score. They'll line up, looks like they're going to line up to go for 2 out of that stack I. Play clock has not been started. Now it starts. Under center, Holton. Handoff, first man through fullback, pushing behind his O-line. And into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. That's Simon Reynolds. And it's 41-14 with 8:16 to go and the clock moving. We'll return after this timeout.
Navigate your way to Carthage Collision Center. Easy to find, right on Highway 16 in Carthage. Our professionals offer exceptional repair services, getting you back on the road in no time. Experience unparalleled customer service coupled with cutting-edge technology. Call us 601-267-4727.
Make a turn towards peace of mind with Carthage Collision Center, where quality meets reliability.
When memories matter most, trust Wilcox Funeral Home to honor your loved one's legacy with compassion and dignity. Our caring team walks with you every step of the way, providing comfort and support during life's most difficult moments. From personalized services to attentive planning, Wilcox Funeral Home is your partner in remembrance and healing. Celebrate a life well lived, because every story deserves to be told, cherished, and never forgotten. Wilcox Funeral Home. Our family, serving your family for 90 years now. Jordan Street, Carthage.
Boswell Media Sports.
Morris Pharmacy kickoff was returned to the 29-yard line by Garrett Adcock. But there was a flag. They're going to call, what was that?
Blocking in the back.
A block in the back, okay. Block in the back against the Rebels, not far from the point where the tackle was made. It gets walked back to the 17. Leake starts there with 6:41 on a running fourth quarter clock. Leake 41, Oak Hill 14.
That's the third penalty for Leake Academy tonight.
And those two previous penalties were 15-yarders on that one drive in the second quarter where the Rebels turned back the Raiders, down at the 4-yard line late in the second quarter. Riles Wilkerson at quarterback, senior John David Gill at his right hip. Two receivers to each side, 1st and 10 from the 17. Gill takes the handoff around the left side. White shirts get on him in a hurry. He'll lose yards back to the 15-yard line or thereabouts.
Yeah, they're simply putting more in the zone, the box now, and it's hard to block it out, even experienced.
The Rebels are running, 4 wide set, 2 to each side, but you're right. The Raiders are guessing that they're not going to throw it a lot. With the second stringers in there, they're going to concentrate, stay on the ground, and run clock with 5.5 to play.
But it would be an excellent time to learn how to sharpen your passing skills a little bit with your second team.
They will put a tight end in on this play left side. Rebels will jump early and lose 5 more yards. Left tackle twitched. So walk it back. We'll mention that Oak Hill is going to fall to 6-2 tonight. They are 1-0 in Region 3 of 2A. They're in that region with Winona Christian and Winston and Central Holmes Christian. They won that district opener last week at home against Winston 28-7, and then they'll host Regent School from Oxford at home in West Point next Friday night.
Interesting. We're getting that time of the year where people start really, really paying attention to the rankings and the scores and
That's right.
basically playoffs. This is playoffs is what
play in for playoff positions.
Yeah.
And in MAIS you have the added level of the PowerPoint system that determines seeding for playoffs. So second down, 16, run up the middle, good gain. Hard hit, but still getting extra yardage after contact was John David Gill. He's past the original line of scrimmage all the way up to the 23. Gain of about 10.
He almost got the first down.
Third and medium here, about 4 yards. It's John David Gill's long run of the night. His long run of the season, 15 yards. Leake will huddle up, let clock drip away, 3:44, 3:43. Rebels 41, Raiders 14. Against a 3-man front, low snap. Wilkerson's going to have to improvise, get it, try to get something himself. White shirts all around. They'll tackle him back at the 18. He could not get upfield. The Rebels will lose everything gained there and end up with 4th and about 9.
Yeah, it was one of those. It was a busted play. And
in fact, way more than that. The play marked back at the 14. I didn't look at that well.
No.
So they'll try another punt. Last punt was blocked. Recovered at the 31 by Oak Hill, and then they end up moving that into the end zone for a touchdown. Jack Johnston stands at his goal line. 2 receivers back at the 45. Stokes and Harris. Flag as the kick goes away. Nice high hanging kick. Fair catch called for by Stokes at the 40. Let's see what the penalty's all about.
I think it's offsides on Oak Hill, I think.
Officials are talking about it. I think you're right, partner.
I think
it's going to be against Oak Hill. And my partner's correct. Offsides against the Raiders.
At this point, if I was Coach Pickens, I would probably decline it. And
it looks like they're going to take the 5 yards and kick it again. Let that unit get one more rep at defending the
That's right. This
the
is
rush.
This is a new punter. Is that correct?
That's right.
So I can. Okay.
The hope is that a week of rest can put Caden Stovall back in the kicking game, but that's just a day-to-day situation, so it's probably good to get these game reps in for Jack Johnston. Under 90 seconds to play. Snap is back. That's a really nice kick.
Yeah.
Hangs, turns over, Stokes. Fair catches in Raider territory at the 44, maybe the 45, and Jack Johnston gets a well-deserved round of applause from folks who realize that's not an easy thing. They were having kicking tryouts yesterday.
That was a good one. That was a good one. It's
in fact, let's put the dial on that. Measure that 19 back to the 44. That's a 37-yard kick. That'll do any night of the week.
Well, and the thing too is it had enough hang time on it that there was no possible return. And that, you can kick a ball 60 yards, but if you don't put any hang time to it, you do not give your punt team time to get down the field to make a tackle. And it really hurts you.
Leake called a timeout, their second Lee Realty timeout of the second half. We're going to see a lot of different personnel out there on defense. I see Braden Johnson and Jackson Hatton.
It's 9 o'clock.
And Jack Carr out there, 55, Eli Atkinson. Joey Saki staying out there. Jack Carr out there. And also 27, Max Palokas.
They have a new quarterback.
New QB in for the visitors.
Number 8.
Thank you. Jay Womble, freshman. He puts it in the air. Right side has a man wide open at the 35. Ball's caught. Tackle made by Max Palokas at the 30. And right away, that's a gain of 28 yards. And timeout for the Raiders with 44 seconds left. Hey, remember, we're going to get to the Woodstock Furniture postgame. Expect Coach Pickens will come up here and talk to us about Rebel victory tonight, and also Hal and I will wrap some things up. We'll get Hal to get his calculator out and add a few numbers up, but story of a big play first half.
Yes. Everything worked really well for Leake Academy in the first half. It's just up until the last drive there in the second quarter.
Wilcox didn't throw an incompletion.
No, he did not. And they was just trying to get down the field in less than a minute and just taking some chances, and you applaud them for that, because you may have to have that methodology going forward.
1st and 10 from the 30. Womble throws underneath, incomplete off the hands of the intended receiver, Kyle Scott. Gavin Gamillion was following him on that quick out pattern. Under 30 seconds to play, and Coach Tom Good Jr. wants to use one of his Lee Realty timeouts and get a couple of more plays for his backups.
I know their quarterback is their second quarterback, but I think they still may have their offensive line on the field. I think.
I think you're correct. We were not given a two deep or a list of starters, so we're sort of guessing by just memory here. I don't know about you. I find my memory rarely fails me when I don't trust it.
Same here. part. And, I just
in fact, I just added another year on the odometer as of today, so I'm
birthday.
Very aware of it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Turned 57 today. Second and 10 from the 30. Down marker on the far side is incorrect. Second down. Womble steps up in the pocket, going to throw toward the end zone, has a man open, reaches up for it, but he can't haul it in. He was looking for Stokes, had him about 2 yards deep in the end zone. The Rebels had good coverage, 10 seconds, 9. Raiders trying to run one more play. They're out of timeouts. Then we have a flag. Blows everything dead. Everything stops. Play clock, or the game clock, for some reason stopped with 1 second. It's supposed to keep rolling. And the head official says roll it, and we're at the end. And we're at a final. Leake 41, Oak Hill 14 is the final. We'll take an extended break and come back with a Woodstock Furniture postgame as Leake Academy football continues from Boswell Media Sports.
West Side Body Shop says, let's face it, stuff happens. And when it does, they can take care of damage as small as a chip in your windshield all the way up to full collision services. Insurance claims are always welcome too. Just be sure your first stop is West Side Body Shop in Philadelphia. They also specialize in truck accessories, including toolboxes, visors, Nerf bars, and winches. They make your ride look cool. West Side Body Shop, just off Beacon Street on Waterview Lane, right behind the Huddle House in Philadelphia.
Life is full of surprises, but with the right insurance, you can be prepared for whatever comes your way.
At South Group Insurance, they offer tailored insurance solutions for your home, auto, business, and farm. Whether it's protecting your family or securing your future, they're always there to help.
South Group Insurance agents are local, experienced, and ready to help provide personalized service that's right for you.
South Group Insurance, just off the Court Square in Carthage.
Thanks to Rosebud General Store, I can get all I need to work the farm right here at home.
Because they go hand in hand with what you use. Spreaders, hay bale rings, cattle catch pens, head gates, and fencing supplies. And let's not forget a great clothing department with boots and shoes to clothe the whole family.
Plus feed and medicine for all our animals, and even a deli to feed us farmers at lunch. That's my faithful friends at Rosebud General Store, Highway 487 East in Rosebud.
When dealing with something as complex as taxes and payroll can be, you can turn to Weaver Tax and Accounting to make things easier. Their professional staff works diligently to make sure your business and personal returns are complete and finished in a timely manner. Weaver Tax and Accounting will also execute your bookkeeping and payroll, bringing you the best in tax services since 1979. Weaver Tax and Accounting, 20 South Street, Sebastopol, and 109 Chadwick Avenue in Walnut Grove.
Navigate your way to Carthage Collision Center. Easy to find, right on Highway 16 in Carthage. Our professionals offer exceptional repair services, getting you back on the road in no time. Experience unparalleled customer service coupled with cutting-edge technology. Call us 601-267-4727.
Make a turn towards peace of mind with Carthage Collision Center, where quality meets reliability.
My knee rehab was 100% successful to performance therapy. They sat down with me and created a plan to ensure I would achieve my personal rehabilitation goals, and they encouraged me to get the most out of every session. Performance therapy provided plenty of material for me to continue my rehab in between sessions too. Hopefully I don't have to see them in the future, but if I did, I would definitely choose performance therapy again.
For more information, go to performancetherapyms.com. Performance Therapy, Carthage, Philadelphia, and Forest.
Ready for your next ride? Triple M Motors has been serving you for 54 years, offering unbeatable prices and an impressive selection to match every lifestyle. With easy financing options and top-notch service long after you drive away, your car buying experience is hassle-free from start to finish. Trust the name that's been in your corner for over 5 decades. Stop by Triple M Motors today and see why our customers keep coming back, generation after generation. Triple M Motors, Highway 35, Carthage.
Sunrise over Neshoba County signals another hard-working day, and locals know just where to get the job done right. Neshoba County Co-op serves our community, supporting farmers, gardeners, and home growers with trusted supplies and friendly advice. From feed and seed to hardware and clothing, every aisle is filled with the essentials you use to make your living. Rooted in Mississippi traditions, the Neshoba County Co-op is proud to help your work flourish every season, every reason. Neshoba County Co-op, Philadelphia.
Boswell Media Sports.
Here we go with the Woodstock Furniture postgame. Talking about Leake's 41-14 victory over Oak Hill. Oak Hill is now 6-2 on the year. They're 1-0 in District 3 of 2A. They'll host Regent School next week. Leake now 6-1. They won 5 games in a row. Heading to Riverfield next Friday night over in Rayville, Louisiana for the first district game of the year. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff, and, of course, we'll bring it to you on Cruisin' 98.3 and on the Triple M Motors video stream, the Boswell Media Sports YouTube channel. I'm Philip Palmertree. We've got Hal Haddon with us. Coach Brian Pickens will be joining us shortly in the Woodstock Furniture postgame. Leake got down to business quickly, kicked off, forced a 3 and out on the first offensive series by the Oak Hill Raiders. And then it took them only 2 plays. 80 yards on the run from Garrett Adcock into the end zone, 7-0. Oak Hill answered with a 5-minute drive of their own, 9 plays, 35 yards after a good kickoff return, made it 7-6. They couldn't get the extra point. They went for 2 and failed. But then Leake took over from there. Got 63 yards on the ground from Adcock 17 seconds later. And then got 21 points total in that first quarter. Got big plays, 89 yards through the air from in the second quarter from Wilcox to Easton Page. Page caught 3 touchdown passes. Nice. We were trying to help move some camera equipment around here while we do this. And then Leake led at 34-6 at halftime. Scored in the first minute or so of the third quarter on a 27-yard run by Garrett Adcock. And that put the running clock mode into operation. And the Rebels wrap it up 41-14 to improve to 6-1 on the year. And we bring in the head coach of the Rebels, Brian Pickens. He's with us in the press box. We're getting him situated for you on the Woodstock Furniture postgame. And we'll bring Coach in. And, Coach, congratulations again. We've got getting another early night.
That's right. What is this? Our 4th?
Five in a row.
Five in a row running clock. That's great. It says a lot about what our kids are doing. They're coming out. You can look at the running clock however you want to, but the way I see it is our kids are preparing themselves every week. They're coming out on fire. They're coming out excited, and it's doing a great job. Getting started and finishing, and we came out. We actually needed that a little bit. I felt like with our defense standing out there for 3 quarters, and for condition reasons. And then I was glad to see us, be able to really need to get that opening drive the third quarter.
And, of course, the thing that makes your eyes pop out are some of those big plays that we've got. And it's not a surprise to us or anybody else at this point that we've got the capability of those explosive plays. But the thing that stood out to me and Hal tonight once again was how well the defense played against a team that really wanted to muscle up and punch us in the mouth, and I thought our guys were really prepared and played good team defense.
Yeah, we've been talking all week about, that's what they're going to do. They're going to come in here. They've got some big linemen. They got some big physical running backs. And they got some, skill guys. You saw their skill guys making plays. I mean, we felt like that, they were, I think, 6-1 coming in tonight, and, they were excited about what they've been doing this year. And, when you play somebody for homecoming, it's a little bit of motivation for that visiting team, and I think they used that. And like I said, they came out. We stopped them early on their first drive and took it, and then You know, I always like kind of doing these because you kind of help me out. What was the first run? I think it was our first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, it was our second play, 80 yards.
80 yards. Okay, so Adcock went 80 yards on that one. Then we scored again. Was that Adcock again?
Yep, 63 yards on that run with about 3.5 to play in the first quarter.
So how many yards did that boy wind up with tonight?
So Adcock ends up with about 160. 160. Let's see. No. Let's see. Let me add that up. No. It's going to be closer to 180.
180, and he touched the ball how many times?
About 5.
That
6.
is super. That says, you know, and that says a lot about him. You know, that's a zone play that we've been working on, and you know, and we felt like you know, our linemen are you know, they're athletic guys, and they do a great job of moving and getting people under control,
Mm-hmm.
and so that was something that we really harped on this week. Felt like it would be open by what they were doing. You know, we talked about last week, you know, what Canton did. We just felt like, you know, the passing game was there. Well, what they were doing, we felt like the run game was there, and Adcock was breaking those things. And so how many times he touched the ball tonight?
For Garrett, I think about 6.
You said 6. So I'm not even going to try to do the math and embarrass myself and you too. But anyway, that's a lot of yards per carry.
Almost 30 per carry.
Almost 30 per carry. So that says a lot about him and that offensive line. And, you know, the preparation they put in. Because, like I said, we ran that play over and over and over again this week. And, you know, and so I was excited when he scored on it, you know, because I'd, you know, been telling him, you know, this is what it's going to look like and this is what's going to happen. And, you know, he made it happen. And then we came out, I think, the first play of I think we threw a hitch or something, and then he ran it the second play of the second half and scored. So, you know, that's just being complimentary with what we do. And I will say this, you know, George came over there, and you think, you know, hey, George loves to throw the football, and he does. He does a super job of doing it. George came over to me and he said, Coach, let's just stay in this. He said, because what they're doing, they're not going to stop it. You know, and so that says a lot about George. You know, and the unselfishness. You know, like Adcock last week, I think he wound up with 1 touchdown and I think 10 yards or something last week. You know, but it didn't phase him.
He barely touched the ball.
I mean, he just, you know, he's standing on the sideline grinning the whole time. You know, but that says a lot about the kids we got. Very unselfish, and that's what you got to have. And then you go on Georgia's side. How many yards he passed for?
Well, he ended up with about 320.
320. So we had.
No, that was total offense. Sorry, so it's about half that.
Okay,
yeah.
So
it's about 160 or so.
Okay, you know, and I mean he had some big plays down the field. I liked what I saw right there. Second half, I know we didn't score, but I thought we kept our composure. We took the ball over on the 5. You know, ran the out route there. Got up here, gave us some breathing room. And, you know, we were chunking it down the field, and then we you know, finished off with just dumping it off to Adcock on a little short play, see if he could make something happen. But I thought I liked our composure on that. But like I said, just, you know, and like I said, defensively, we were in battles. We had Braden go down early in the game, which you hate to see. He's a heck of a player. He's done a super job for us. I don't know, you know, don't have any clue, you know, what it is, but you know, we had guys have to go in and step up, and you know, when that happens, I know people see it, but you know, you take a kid like Braden, he is he's kind of a motivational guy out there. You know, you know, the kids trust him, the coaches trust him. You know, keeps everybody up. You know, in practice, he does a super job. You know, even keeping the coaches up some days. So, you know, when you lose somebody like that, you're not just losing this player. You're losing somebody who's key to your whole defense, just as far as a leader goes. And I thought our kids did a good job of coming in there and subbing in, and you know, we got everything under control there, and had a big goal line stand down here just for the half.
Well, hey, let's talk about something else that became sort of a late-breaking story in tonight's ball game. Coach Burns told Hal and me when we got here about tonight's adventures in kicking.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
was going on, and I thought our guys really answered the bell there. You had a different holder, different kicker on those point afters, and we were 6 out of 7.
You know how I am about the field goal kicking and place kicking. You know, I may be the only person that gets excited over it, but
when he made that first one, you thought we had just kicked a game-winning field goal.
It was huge. You know, and it barely went over. It
was like a knuckleball.
Yeah, just knuckleball over it. Now, you know, I'm gonna have fun with that with him later, but I was fired up for him. And, and at the end of the game, of course, none of us can add because I said, okay, what would that have been? 6? The kids were like, I think 7 touchdowns, coach. And so anyway, but we did figure out between all 40 of us that it was 6 touchdowns.
5 out of 6.
He went 5 out of 6, and that is
that's
super for a guy that, look, I'm going to give away a coaching secret. We worked on it yesterday.
Coach Burns told us there were tryouts going on about 5 o'clock yesterday.
And I said, and Easton won the job because he played soccer when he was like 4. So I was excited over the fact that we had a soccer player, and he said, "Oh yeah, coach, I played soccer when I was like 4 or 5." So anyway, but he did a super job because that's a lot of pressure on you, and
some of them looked really good.
Oh,
too.
At one time, he was 4 for 4, and. Then of course I had to boo him on the 5th one, but he came back on that 6th one and drilled it, and that's what got the clock right. And that was a pressure kick, and I like seeing that. It was, because I told him, I said that was good. I said that was some pressure on you because if he misses it, the clock keeps running. Regulation, but it put the clock running, and so he boomed that through, and then Joey Sockett did a good job.
Yes.
Joey he just kicks that thing as hard as he can. I don't know how fast that thing's coming at you, but. I'm not going to stand down there when he kicks off, and I think he was kicking around to the 10 down there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was kicking him inside the 20, and they were having some trouble scooping him up too.
Well, that thing's coming 100 miles an hour flat at you, and even the other day in practice, Joey had to get new shoes because he blew his shoe out. He was kicking it so hard, but he did a super job. Now, you probably saw me kind of get on him. I don't know what it is about football. You can watch college football, high school football. If a guy catches it, those guys will go down there and just drill him. If he starts bobbling around with it, you think you're fixing to get this huge play, and that's when he breaks loose. And I think what it is, everybody gets so excited. They see kill shot, they see ball, they think they're going to make some big play, and they break down, and you see breakdowns. And so I was having to warn them, now, look, this guy's going to have problems fielding this thing. You've got to maintain your composure and stay in your lanes, and they did. As the game went on, and like I said, it started looking better and better. But we scored enough for Joy to get a lot of work out of that. So, but like I said, we're hoping Caden will be back with us. I'm not a doctor. I think it was kind of a pull muscle deal. So I think Caden will be back with us. Hopefully so. Anyway, but like I said, proud of those guys, and that just shows how our kids will step up. The one thing, they step up to the challenge. John David went out. Thomas went out in the third quarter. Had to get checked out at halftime. Again, can't even tell you what the diagnosis of it. But Talon Diller came in. And I'll say this: Talon did a super job. We had somebody out this week. Got sick, and Talon's came in and did a super job working there. So. Us working.
And then that puts Austin Swinney in for more snaps
as
well
Austin
in the D line.
Yeah.
So and he's played well when he's been in the game.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm proud to see, when kids step up. You hate to see anybody get hurt. You don't want anybody to get hurt, and that's probably the hardest thing about football is you do deal with some injuries, but you're also proud to see as heartbreaking as it is when one gets hurt. And like I said, they may be back next week. Who knows? I'm hoping and praying so, but to see those kids come in and step up like that says a lot about them and their motivation to be the best they can be. Sometimes they're not even knowing what they're doing, just getting out there and playing ball.
Coach, thanks for your time here in the Woodstock Furniture postgame. Congratulations to you and the Rebels. Y'all go enjoy this one, and then we got to turn our eyes toward district play the next 3 weeks. Got to travel across the river to a good Riverfield Ball Club will be waiting for us. And
we got about a 4-hour trip next week. You're going to have to pack a lunch when you start heading over there. But like I said, we're
may be looking for hotels over there.
We're excited about it. And, like I said, we've got to do what we do. We talked about the running backs, talked about the quarterback, kicker, and everything. But like I said, our receivers did a super job tonight. I do want to say that about our receivers. Wright had a big catch. Easton had a couple of touchdowns. That one that George threw to him, I don't know how he got so wide open, but down the middle of the field. Gage has some huge just short passes that he's deadly. He catches it short, and You slip up on him, he's got the ability to be gone. So, and then Riles did a good job coming in tonight for Caden tonight. So, anyway, like I said, just excited now. You're right. We've got these district games coming up. That was a huge win for us tonight. We're 6-1 now. Like I told the kids, something that we don't really talk about a lot, but it is part of your goals to have a winning season. And when you win those 6 games, that basically assures you're going to have a winning season. Now we want to do a lot more than that, but that you just take them one step at a time, and you have to show them where they're going to. So, like I said, real proud of them tonight.
All right, one little extra bonus here. Get a reaction from you. You may have seen it before we saw it, but Coach Robbie showed us a video clip from the last time that Leake and Oak Hill played. It was here in 2016 in mid-October, and school record was set that night. John David Sturdivant ran 99 yards from the north to the south end zone. And if we had the capability, we would have shown the play between the first and second quarter or something like that. Except the thing was, in watching it, John David, he really did kind of slow down those last 20 yards. Yeah. He was huffing and puffing, but he was not stopping.
I remember that.
And he kind of got shoved into the pylon at the end. So,
good gracious. 2016, 10 years ago.
That's a good memory. So if John David's listening, thanks for letting us reminisce about that and chuckle a little bit about it. Great job. He'll be in the school record book for a long time with a 99-yard run.
99-yard run.
But again, Coach, congratulations on the 41-14 win. We'll talk to you midweek for the South Group Insurance Coaches Show, and then before you know it, we'll be in Louisiana getting ready to kick off against another group of Raiders.
That's right, Riverfield. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Coach Brian Pickens, talking about Leake's 41-14 win over Oak Hill tonight, and we'll put a wrap here. We'll bring Hal back for a final word. Hal, it's great to have you back. First time you were with us since week 2. We were hoping to have you last week, but some circumstances intervened, and we're glad you're back at 100%. Coach was talking about injuries and players being down. You were down last week, but glad to have you back.
Well, thank you. It's one of these things where life happens. You just have to roll with it and go. But getting back to this game, it's really, really a good game. All phases of the Leake Academy football team did well tonight. And I was listening to the conversation because I'm still learning this team. There was a lot of what I call second faces in this game tonight that played key parts that I didn't see. And so kudos to Leake Academy. They played a wonderful game. The only two things I saw as a negative, and it's very minor, was one extra point from your new.
Yeah, that's from a kid who wasn't kicking 48 hours ago.
And then you had the 2 penalties in the late second quarter, which one was suspect and the other one was frustration out of the first one. So those are gimmies, mulligans as we would call them in golf. And but great thing, just now they're on to next week. Enjoy the weekend, get their second breath, have a good week of practice, and see what happens next week and all that.
We hope all of you will join us next Friday night. We'll get the Cross Gates Jewelers pregame started about 10 minutes after 6, and then it'll be 7 o'clock kickoff, Rebels and the Riverview Raiders district opener for Leake in week 8. And then 2 weeks from tonight, we'll be in Florida to take on one of the top teams in MAIS, the Tri-County Rebels. So appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. That'll do it for us. Thanks again, Mason Middleton, our camera operator, Billy Steen, our studio producer, and Hal Haddon, our Gilbert Barham color commentator. Tonight, for all of them, I'm Philip Palmertree, thanking our producer-director, the award-winning Breck Riley, and our executive producer, Melissa Boswell-Townsend, for setting us up here to do this, and we really enjoy it. And if you don't watch and you don't listen, well, it doesn't really matter. But y'all make it matter, and we appreciate that every week. So until we're together again, Lord willing, next week, good night, grace and peace. Go Rebels!